The heart of your teams, the heart of Michigan. Bally Sports Detroit, the heart of the fan.
This fall at Northville High School, a football renaissance has taken place.
Looking right side, got a man caught at the 10, to the 5, touchdown, Mustangs!
Powered by a tenacious defense, this group of young Mustangs has come to embody the fire of their head coach.
Hit the crap out of them. Leave no doubt, fellas. How you feel? Fire! How you feel? Fire!
Now on the verge of a district championship, the Northville Mustangs face their biggest challenge yet.
Down the middle. Oh, you've got to be kidding me! Touchdown, Catholic Central!
Detroit Catholic Central planted its roots in Novi 18 years ago, and the Shamrocks have made their presence felt ever since.
What are you going to do to get up tonight? What are we going to do? Get out there and
On this football Friday, next-door neighbors collide for just the 4th time ever, and a district championship is on the line. It's the MHSAA State Playoffs, tonight on Bally Sports.
That is the middle of Northville High School. They call it Main Street. Usually it's the hub of activity at the school. Tonight, there's nobody there. There's a football game to come watch. A district title is on the line, and this is one of the biggest football games in the history of Northville High School. Football Fridays on Bally Sports Detroit, proudly presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. The noisy neighbors from down the road in town. Detroit Catholic Central against Northville. Welcome to the field and one of those ball games that makes you fall in love with high school football all over again. Alongside Justin Cessante and the rest of our great Bally Sports crew, Evan Stockton with you. You know, Justin, these two schools do not play each other a lot, but they're located less than 10 miles away. Everybody here knows everybody. It's a little more juice to this one tonight, huh?
Yeah, no doubt about it. You have a rivalry of neighbors. It's going to be an affair tonight. Nothing more than Northville wants to do in one of the biggest games in the history of their program, district championship. Since 2002, they have not won, and they're looking forward to prove a point here against Detroit Catholic Central.
Yeah, this is a bit of a football renaissance here at Northville High School this year, and the reason they're playing so well is a defense that is one of the best in the state of Michigan. We'll talk about the numbers all throughout the night. They're having one heck of a year. The numbers prove the point, Justin, and you can't have those numbers without really good athletes, and they've got them in spades on that defense.
Yeah, only allowing 12 points a game. They have 8 underclassmen starting on the defense, and it really starts with their linebackers, Hunter Laddick and Evan Deek. They are the spark plug and the heart of this scrappy pursuit. Great tackling defense that has really proved a point all year in the KLAA, and they are going to have their hands full and a great challenge in front of them with Detroit Catholic Central.
Yes, they are, because the playmakers for Northville's defense, as you see, have numbers about as good as you'll find in the state of Michigan. They love to say they're a bunch of zero stars who just put everything they've got out on that football field tonight. But here's the deal. They're going to have to play their butts off tonight because Detroit Catholic Central, which has about as storied a football history as anyone in the state of Michigan, they've got 2 legends on the team this year, Evan Hager and Brady Blakita. They're making plays all over the place game after game.
Yeah, these guys show up every game for the Shamrocks and Detroit Catholic Central. Coach Laddick said it on our call this week. He said we cannot allow home runs, and these are home run hitters. Evan Hager gets downhill. He's a power running back. He's a speed running back, and every time he touches the football, whether he's catching out of the backfield or running downhill, he is a threat to score. And Brady Blakita, defensively, offensively, special teams, he can really do it all. He gets going. We saw a game earlier this year against Brother Rice, had a 99-yard interception return. They have to really keep him in front. They have to be a great tackling football team to make sure they can contain this dynamic duo.
Our crew showed up here at 5:30. The parking lots were already full. This is as good an atmosphere as you're going to get in high school football in Michigan. We're sure hoping the game lives up to the hype. Next door neighbors, Detroit Catholic Central and Northville, matching up for just the 4th time effort. This has got the potential to be a classic. Come on back and watch it with us on Bally Sports Detroit.
Lids on, let's go. Yeah. Let's go. Hey, fellas, earlier in the week, we talked about their tradition. We talked about the fact that they've got more state championships than we do district championships or regional championships combined, for that matter. We talked about their strong tradition, and we respect that of them. Okay, we're playing against a really good opponent tonight, and we're going to play tonight with a whole lot of class and respect, and we're going to be the gentlemen that we are when that whistle blows, and help each other up, pat them on the head, tell them good job, all that good stuff. We're going to do all those things. But guys, once that ball's kicked off tonight, all those traditions, all those championships, they go out the window. They're meaningless. I don't care what those kids' grandfathers did. I don't care what their dad did. I don't care what their uncle did. I don't care what their older cousins did, because they done nothing. They haven't won those championships. Those dudes over there are just like you. They're no doggone different. They're built just like each and every one of us. And I know this. I've coached some of you guys now for 4 years, others for 3, others for 2, and I know how you're built. And I believe in every single one of you guys. I love every single one of you guys. There's a lot of things that we hate about them. Go back to 8th grade. You guys are at Meads Mill or Hillside. All of a sudden, one kid shows up in that royal blue hoodie. And then another one does. And then all of a sudden, your good buddy shows up in that royal blue hoodie. And it creates a divide in our community. And we didn't choose that, but that is the reality that this is. It's the reality that it is. There's still good people over there, just like we're still good people. Doesn't mean we have to like it right now tonight, do we? No, not at all. Not at all, but we will respect them. We will respect them, guys. Okay? But tonight ain't about hate. It's not about us hating our opponents. Because I've coached plenty of teams, and not one team filled with hate has ever done anything great. But I've coached some really, really good teams. Some really good teams that have loved each other the way you guys love each other, the way you guys have each other's back, the way you guys represent yourselves in this program. We're going to do everything the right way tonight. We're going to do everything the way we've done it all season long. Ain't going to be no tricks. There ain't going to be any surprises. We're playing Mustang football. We're playing for the block end on that helmet, boys. We're playing for each other. You guys got me? Yes, oh, now let's go out and let's do what we do. Let's close them fists up. Let's punch these bumps in the mouth. And let's get some. Hey, let's get it, boys! Let's go!
This is high school football in Michigan in its absolute finest. Guys who have known each other, as you heard Coach Laddick just say, since the 8th grade. Those folks in that Northville student section, I can guarantee you one thing. Those folks on the other side, the folks in Valiant Blue and Peerless White, they don't like them all that much. And this is a chance to get a little payback on a perfect November Friday night for football. Come on now, it's the first week in November at 68 degrees. We weren't here, Justin. We'd be golfing earlier in the day, you know what I mean?
Pure Michigan, and wow, with that speech, got you fired up. You got to back it up. But they are ready. They have the mentality, emotionally, physically, mentally, been prepared by a great coach and Coach Laddick. And this is going to be a battle. We're ready to go.
Matt Laddick has been building toward a game like this in 15 years at Northville. Dan Anderson's been in a lot of these ball games. He was under Tom Mack for forever. Now 6 years as the head man at Detroit Catholic Central. You can sense the energy palpably here in the stadium and hopefully through your TV screen. Sam Weiss will kick it deep for Northville. Brady Blakita, one of the men, back deep for Catholic Central. A district title on the line tonight. Let's get her going. This is Brady Blakita on the return. He's got room. Brady fighting his way across the 35-yard line. Evan Deek making the tackle for Northville. A good start for Detroit Catholic Central. And the man operating the offense, Justin, someone who had to win the job, frankly, throughout the year. This is Bo Jackson, who's getting better and better every week. What are you liking out of him right now?
Yeah, Coach Anderson said it best on our call this week is he just assumed the leadership position. He's now gained confidence, doesn't feel like anybody's breathing down his neck, and the team is now following him into battle. I thought the Brother Rice game was a great turning point that we covered, and now he's out at the helm, and that's who they're riding into the playoffs.
They start with a give to Evan Hager. You're going to see a lot of that today. They're trying to attack the D-line and the linebackers, but Hunter Laddick on play one says no. Here's a look at your defensive end-back players for Northville. Frankly, when it's a defense that gives up 12 points a game, Justin, there's a lot to pick from. Who should we focus on tonight?
Yeah, you see Gil Martin's having a great year. Owen Ross really stout in the middle, but Hunter Laddick and even Evan Deek, they ask a lot from him in the 3-4 to walk up as a stand-up, to play the run in the middle, and to drop into pass coverage. So they're going to be asked a lot, and they're going to have to do a lot to stop this potent offense of Detroit Catholic Central.
First throw of the day for Bo Jackson. Long throw that is caught. It's Nico Genrich on the reception, but my goodness, great break of the ball, Justin, by Northville's defensive back. This was nearly a pick six.
Yeah, that defense wishes they had this playback. Really took a long time in the release. Bo Jackson, the quarterback for CC, to get that ball out, and they really had a beat on it and was just inches away from making a play.
That was Cullen Murphy, the middle infielder on the baseball team. Nearly read it like a center fielder going the other way. It's a first down, though, for Catholic Central. Throw number 2 in the hands of Brady Blakita, and there is just zero real estate. Owen Ross on the tackle. That is Owen Ross's 61st tackle on the season. The offensive line, Justin, frankly, for Detroit Catholic Central, they've been moving parts around all year. What do we need to focus on offensive line-wise for the Shamrocks tonight, you think?
They're a young offensive line, but it's gained a lot of experience because of their battle-tested season and schedule, and we really want to see if they can impose their will, their size and strength compared to the front and the second level of Northville.
Second run of the night for Evan Hager. A little bit of room, and he's wrangled down running left side of the line. That's Mac Anderson on the tackle. And here you go, early test both sides, third down meeting.
Yeah, third down, big play right in the beginning of the game, a lot of emotion swinging on both sides. If I'm Detroit Catholic Central, I'm going to put this ball vertical. I'm going to challenge those defensive backs, want to make sure that they have some pressure and see what they're going to do against third down plays on the defense of Northville to see if they're going to bring pressure or sit back in the zone or man defense.
They'll throw it again. Jackson, third down, caught. That's a first down for Catholic Central. DJ Lee, only his 9th catch of the season.
And as much as Northville is a scrappy defense, they do give some space when they're covering in man-to-man, and that's going to give up those mid-range to short outs, those hitches, and that's exactly what Catholic Central just took advantage of for the first down.
Derek Lee, number 83, and white and blue for Catholic Central. He's a transfer from Bloomfield Hills. They lost to Catholic Central in the playoffs last year. You transfer to Catholic Central to play in games like this. This is Evan Hager again on the left side. And once again, Northville has been reading that well. Another tackle for number 11, Anderson.
Yeah, Anderson and Cullen Murphy are really active safeties. As much as they come and sit back and keep things in front of them in the pass coverage, they are really flying downhill on any run plays, on any lateral passes, the bubbles, the rockets, things of that nature. You see Catholic Central doing a good job of a balanced offense attack right now. They're keeping Northville on their heels. They're not sticking to one thing. They're making them really respect their playbook.
It's been about even in terms of the plate distribution for the Shamrocks. About half pass, about half run. On the ground, Hager with room. That man, a lightning bolt. Touchdown, Catholic Central. Touchdown number 7 on the year for Evan Hager, the future baseball star at Alabama. He's a heck of a football player, isn't he?
Draw, yep. You see the big guards and tackle in here. Go ahead and run it. We really see the parting of the Red Sea here. Just up front dominance. They push them out, get a real wide hole. You don't have to look and have any vision for that. Evan Hager does have great vision, and he takes it right up the middle. Great job by CC, throwing some different counter punches there, really keeping the defense of Northville off balance and really spilling out their scheme and their playbook in the first drive.
A touchdown run that looks so familiar to Catholic Central football fans over the last 75 years. 30 plus to the house. Good start for the Shamrocks. Well, that coaching staff for Catholic Central wanted to pound the rock, and they just did it on an opening touchdown drive to start the night. Justin, what do you think the keys are for these Shamrocks?
Well, I knew they wanted to start off fast after having a bye week and starting very slow against a really good Dearborn team last week. Offensively, they want to challenge them on the edges, and they wanted to really challenge the middle, off tackle, and the edge of their defense running, and they just did that.
And the keys for Northville.
Yeah, Northville wants to play keep away. When they get the ball, they want to use their long lateral passes to really as a long handoff, and they want to stop home runs. They want to make ground balls, and we just saw a home run get hit there by Evan Hager. We knew he was one of the home run hitters. The Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa this game, him and Bakita. And unfortunately for Northville, they did exactly what they didn't want them to do, start off fast and hit a home run on the first drive of the game.
You know, it's fitting you're saying Evan Hager's hitting home runs because he is going to go play college baseball.
At the Crimson Tide.
Yeah.
Tremendous athlete.
I mean, look, with the way he runs that football, maybe Nick Saban's going to watch a little film and go, I may need that man. There's always room for another talented football player in Tuscaloosa. This is Jake Madigan to kick it away for Catholic Central. And Northville's got a chance for a return. It's fielded near their 10. There is room up the middle. Northville with an excellent return. That's Nolan Thompson, number 21. An explosive play, making that big crowd happy.
And watching film of Northville, they have tremendous special teams. The kicking game, the punting game, and kick return. They have some athletes that can hit you. They hit it right up the middle wedge in the seam, and he gets a really good return. They needed that momentum swing to come back off that home run just hit by CC.
This is one of those young men, which make cover in high school football so much darn fun. Luca Pryor, a senior, who by his own admission says, I'm a 0 star. I'm not going anywhere to play college football at this point. I'm just out there having the time of my life. Well, he's going to have to play the game of his life tonight, probably, Justin.
Savvy football player, makes great decisions. I think his season will put him in a position to play some college ball.
We'll start with a throw. Luca zipping it out, got it caught. There's that man, Thompson, again. Cameron Lloyd pushing him out for CC, but that is a strong game on first down for the home team. Here's your starting lineup for the Mustangs, coming in at 8-2. As we look at the rest of this offense, Justin, aside from the quarterback Pryor, who's a couple names we got to keep an eye on here?
Yeah, I mean, up front, Graham Gilmartin's having a great season on both sides of the ball. You got Nolan Thompson, who's just a threat every time he touches it. We saw it on the big kick return. They have some guys that can hurt you, and they have a very good scheme on offense.
Second down throw again, tipped incomplete. That is Josh Ross getting his mitts on it. Josh plays on the Hoops team as well, so he knows something about getting up to tip a ball in the air. And now we got third down very short.
Yeah, third down very short, and you have to get this. This is not a play. Are you in 4-down territory? You may be, but you don't want to give a short field to the Shamrocks. I'd really try to impose my will back and try to push and get a quick first down here off a run or a dive from the running back.
Pitch to Evan Deek. Race to the edge. He's got the edge. First down, Northville. Braden Corser makes the tackle, but the edge and race to the corner, won by Evan Deek.
Yeah, really good job. Everything was packed in really tight. You got an early blitz off Catholic Central. They're getting some pressure inside, and they took advantage of that by hitting the edge, which CC hasn't given up a lot during the year, but last week against Dearborn, they were giving the edge up quite a bit. I think Northville saw that on film and took advantage of it there for a big first down.
Now, number 5 in black, Evan Deek, has only carried the ball 14 times entering tonight. Caleb Moore, number 13, is the normal bell cow. Play action. Pryor in a world of trouble. Luca's got to loop it down the field, and it's incomplete. Tried to hit a diving Thompson. Lakita step in coverage.
Yeah, and this is one thing about Luca Pryor. He's a savvy football player. He makes really good decisions. Do you run it? Do you run out of bounds? Do you throw it away? He still makes something out of nothing and had a really good chance to make a big play there. Catholic Central does a good job on defense, squeezing the sideline there with Brady Blakita doing a good job, two-way starter there for CC.
Illegal man downfield. 5-yard penalty, second down.
And that's a typical deal, Justin, where sometimes when the quarterback evacuates the pocket, you get guys creeping down the field. So now Catholic Central, it appears, is going to take the penalty and make it first down and 15 aside from second down 10. What do you think of the offensive game plan for Northville so far? More passing than running.
Yeah, I think to loosen them up. You're seeing CC really compacted. They feel their athletes can match up on the outside, so they're packing inside here, and they want to loosen CC's defense up a little bit.
They'll throw again, coming back to the near side, and that was read from jump. Got it in the hands of Angelo Rodriguez, and Spencer Lyons was waiting.
Yeah, you see Spencer Lyon right here. He has a cat type of situation, meaning he can blitz or he can drop into coverage. He stays home on the backside. Everything's flowing to the right and makes a tremendous play for a tackle for loss here. Really a misdirection pass type of play that really gets everybody flowing one way, and you see the discipline of CC's defense paying off.
That is 6'3", 215 pounds of man coming right for your grill. Poor receiver on that play. Another throw. It's Thompson again, and he's got room this time with a late flag. Jack Davis makes the shoestring tackle, and now we got to check that flag.
He was tripped up by number 6, Brady Wilson.
There's nowhere to hide out there on the edge, and you see a lot of from Northville. You see rocket, bubble, screens. It's long, elongated handoffs to not only loosen up the defense.
Decline, third down.
See number 27, that, really locks on. I think it's a petty call, to be honest with you, but you're at the edge. You got good hands on. He didn't have anything outside. Wasn't really grabbing. Let go when he was fighting off the block. That's a tough play because that's a huge part of Northville's offensive scheme. And there's a great chess match going on. You see that both offensive coordinators really have a great mind for football. They're moving their chess pieces around right now to challenge, to loosen up, to test the defense on the other side.
Another chess move coming here. Third down long. Drive number 1 of the game for Northville.
Look for Luca Pryor to take off. He has the ability to do so.
He'll throw and zip it high and caught. Climbing the ladder to get it. That's Nick Hellner, and he's awfully close to the first down. Davis and Blakita combined on the tackle.
Yeah, got a really good spot there. It's going to be close to the first down. I think if you're Northville, you're going for it. I don't think you're going to win this game on field goals, although they have a great field goal kicker that can put it in from a really far distance. They have a great tradition of great field goal kickers. And special teams is going to be a key 1/3 of the game, but I think they go for it, try to enforce their will, and try to go punch for punch with CC.
Justin, that's a great point you make about the kicking. Sam Weiss, number 28, the kicker for Northville, he has made a 48-yarder this year. That's right about here. And Caleb Moore, the best running back for Northville, has come on the field. In what you'd assume is a power running scenario, they haven't tried the middle of the defensive line once all night.
Yeah, and I was expecting this timeout to come. This is a big play. Let's talk about it. Let's make sure we have the right play dialed up.
When you're trying to spring an upset, when you're trying to pick up one of the biggest wins in the history of your football program, you got to convert on 4th and 1. Here's the rub. Northville's size on paper, not even close to Catholic Central. And you'd be thinking they're trying to go size on size here. Does Northville keep it simple? Do they get fancy here? What do you think?
Yeah, the simple play that you do is let the quarterback take it right. You bring them up a little bit. They're not under center much. You see them in shotgun or pistol, but you bring that running back up from behind to push them to get that first down. Or knowing that most of these defensive players are going to be expecting something short run play, power play, pull it out and try to get something to go for a touchdown. It's not bizarre to think that because you have everybody piled into a phone booth right now.
Yeah, you'd think Caleb Moore is your likely ball carrier. Although, judging by his facial reaction, he's not going to be on the field for this play. He has 136 carries on the season. On this drive, Bupkis.
Yeah, it's odd, but whatever they're doing has been working. They've been in some situations right now that have some pressure on the offense, but we'll see if they convert here. I'd expect a hard count, too. You come out and say, hey, we're going to go on a different count. They've been used to our cadence right now. Try to get them off sides, get an easy first down.
Pryor in the gun. Pitch, Deke running left, keeping his legs moving. He's got the first down and more. You got to make big plays to spring an upset. Evan Deke just made a big one.
You see the outside linebackers are in on the line. You go ahead and run it, and they are just pinned inside. We knew everybody was expecting that tight inside run, whether it's quarterback sneak, a power lead, whatever it may be. You see on film from Northville, and they get to the edge for the second time on this drive for a huge first down. And Deke is an defensive problem typically, but he is now becoming an offensive problem.
So Evan on the bench after that first down carry that they sure needed on fourth down. Creative looking play to Thompson. Fake him one way, get him going the other. Northville's got to work it on this drive. Into the red zone they go.
This is a really good job of misdirection. And when you know that you may be overpowered a little bit athletically, size and speed, you have to confuse the defense. You get people moving in different directions, and that's exactly what happened. Almost an underhand shovel pass that gets a really good gain on first down.
Staying ahead of the chains, gain of 6 on first down. Nolan Thompson has touched the ball on darn near every other play so far tonight. The give to Moore, his first run of the game, going nowhere. Henry Graves, who is playing for the injured Beckler Hauser, he's been a starter for about a month, Justin. And the coaching staff of the Shamrocks cannot say enough good things about 42 and white and blue.
Yeah, in a world that kids transfer as soon as they're not playing right away or they're behind some starter and they feel that they aren't getting their shine, he stuck it out here at CC and is doing a tremendous job of filling the role of a very good linebacker in Beckler and makes a big play. And I like Northville keeping them honest inside, still running their playbook, not just sticking to being a one-trick pony.
Can the Mustangs convert on third down again? Pryor looping it, back corner of the end zone. Complete. Tried to hit Rodriguez. Did have a step on the coverage of Josh Rude.
Yeah, Catholic Central right now is getting some really good pressure from their outside linebackers, bringing them off the edge. Luca Pryor took a big hit on his first throw of the game by Spencer Lyons, and he's getting some pressure. Northville is going to have to figure out, especially in the empty set, to provide some max protection so he has some time to make a good throw because that young man can make them.
They will try the field goal now. This is not Sam Wiest, the normal kicker number 28. Well, it could be. 87's not listed on the roster. And this kick is perfect, and Sam's been pretty good all year. That's probably Sam Wiest wearing a different jersey. So Luca Pryor takes him down the football field, and Northville does get 3. Catholic Central bend, do not break. One of the biggest games in the history of Northville High School, taking on those noisy neighbors from down the road, and they're on the board. All right, so we did some investigative journalism during the break. That is the normal kicker, Sam Wiest, but he's wearing 87 today, not the normal 28, because he gave his jersey to his girlfriend.
Right.
That is high school football in a nutshell. God bless it. I mean, look, when you look those good with the bright orange cleats, the ladies are going to be after you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you never know. You're walking in the shadow of Jake Moody, and kicking's a big deal here.
So Sam just made a field goal of a little over 30 yards to put Northville on the board. Catholic Central scored on their first drive of the game. And drive number 2 about to begin. This is Brady Blakita. Brady Blakita getting some blocks on the outside. That man is a walking highlight. He does it again. It takes darn near the entire kick coverage unit for Northville to bring him down. This man is so much fun to watch.
Yeah, you know, he's one of the most dangerous returners in the state. I would kick away from him. I would kick out of bounds before I kick to him. You're just giving too many yards up on the special teams, the back-to-back kickoff returns. That's giving Catholic Central really short fields and really opening up their playbook right off the rip.
That was the kicker Wiest who actually made the tackle. I mean, Brady Blakita, with some of the highlights he's had this year, he had monster play after monster play last week against Dearborn, 100-yard pick 6, and a win against Brother Rice. This is Hager. Just ran for a 33-yard touchdown. He's not going to the house here, but it's nearly a first down with Anderson making the tackle. Brady Blakita, earlier this year on a football Friday at Lawrence Tech, had maybe the highlight of the Michigan high school football season. So a pick at the goal line's good enough. And he got a couple of blocks. Then he had a wiggle. Then he had a shake. And he made a little magic happen in a rivalry win. Good luck tackling that man in the open field. Evan Hager again, spinning and keeping the legs moving. Shamrocks are finding a lot of success up the middle. Anderson and Laddick combining on the tackle.
And this is what you don't want to see happen if you're Northville. You don't want to get stuck up front where those big fellas are now climbing to that second level with a little bit of an undersized. Great linebacking crew of Northville, but an undersized. So you have these guys that average 6'3", 240 plus at Catholic Central offensive line getting to that second level, and you do not want them to get steamed downhill running right at you.
Nothing but on the ground on this drive. Sticking with it. Carry number 1 for Spencer Lyons. Tried to get up to the second level and got inside the red zone. That's Graham Gilmartin on the tackle. To your point, Justin, frankly, the size for Catholic Central's O-line against those linebackers in the second level, this is a mismatch, as you'll see. Bunch of big dudes in the O-line for Catholic Central, and while there's athletic guys in the linebacking core for Northville, frankly, they just don't have the size to match up.
But they do up front. You know, Gil Martin, Hassan Eliazat, Ferris Jordan, those are big, strong guys, and they need to do their job to make sure that they can't get to that second level to the linebackers that are very feisty and run side to side.
This is Jaden Piden, keeping the legs moving, stretching for the goal line. He does not get to the goal line, but the sophomore making a great play with a block from Spencer Lyons on the outside.
Yeah, this is thunder and lightning for you from Catholic Central. You've went right downhill at them once, then you went off tackle, and then you really just jet sweep it outside with a little zip action, and they really are keeping them off balance. I think one of the more impressive calling games after covering CC a couple times this year.
They like this power diamond formation. They give it to Evan Hager, who will not get into the end zone. Second down and goal.
Yeah, really good job by the corner here, 30, Drew Rankin, just slicing in off the edge, and good job by the front of Northville. You guys got those guys up there, Hassan Elizat, Gil Martin, Jordan, really doing a stout job keeping them out of the end zone.
Did Catholic Central get in the end zone this time? They did. Had to unpile the bodies. That's touchdown number 6 on the year for Jaden Piden. Well, he got him down there on that stretch run. You may just have him finish it off, right?
Yeah, you saw CC really do a good job of running inside, off tackle, outside, keeping the defense off balance, not letting them all pack into the phone booth, and they really drive down with, again, a short field. They have to rethink kicking it deep and making sure that CC has to earn every yard that they get.
Jake Madigan has only missed 1 extra point all season. Bit of a low snap, but it's put down well. And the extra point is through. That's Colin Lassie, number 30, on the nice hold for Catholic Central. So these two schools know each other very well. Quite frankly, a lot of kids from Northville end up going to school down the road at Catholic Central. Enrollment of just under 1,000. The Bazillions established the school in 1928. They've been all over Metro Detroit. They started in Detroit, and they went to Redford. Now they've planted their roots in Novi. That's the home for the foreseeable future for the Shamrocks. And those playoff appearances and state championships kind of tell the story. You heard the head coach for Northville, Matt Laddick, say before the game, frankly, guys, they've got more state championships than we have district championships. But there is a strong tradition here, whether it be on the football field or on the ice as well.
Yeah, Northville's done a great job of rallying around community in a time that we have kids going all over the place. The kids that they deal with and they work with from the community, which I also live in, does a fantastic job with them, getting the most out of them and really making the community proud.
I mean, the scene here tonight is straight out of Friday Night Lights storybook stuff. Packed, both sides of the aisle. You can't find an empty seat. There's so many people, they're all standing on the overflow hill. What an environment. I think Catholic Central's interested in how this game's going to turn out. That is a lot of valiant blue and peerless white over there. Madigan the kick. It's a short one. And it's bobbled and then found by Northville. Trying to find room. Oh, it's a fumble. Great special teams play by the Shamrocks. It is returned and fallen on by Northville. They just averted disaster.
Look at Jack Wilson. All right, they kick it short because the first kick they had was deep, hurt him. Jack Wilkinson, number 17, Jack Wilkinson comes in, and you practice this. You practice the strip drill, you practice turnovers, and he comes in and chops that ball for a huge play.
I mean, Christian Friedel just did not see it. Wilkinson with a very fine play on special teams. And Northville's backed up. Run number 2 of the day for Moore. Barely saw him on drive number 1. A good game to start drive number 2, with Jack Davis making the tackle. Number 13 in black and orange, Caleb Moore, has been their bell cow. 136 carries, 12 touchdowns. Guy will join the Hoops team whenever football season ends. He sure hopes it doesn't end tonight, but the hometown team has got work to do. 2 drives and 2 touchdowns for Catholic Central so far tonight, and Matt Laddick is hoping for a response from his club as the second quarter starts in a few. This is one of the biggest games in the history of Northville High School football. Catholic Central in town, and the Shamrocks looking good so far. 12 minutes of football in the books. Shamrocks to the house twice in a league. This special presentation of the MHSAA football playoffs on Bally Sports Detroit, brought to you by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Family, not just the name of our company, but the way that we do business. It's a great time to be a Northville Mustang. That is one of the best volleyball teams in the state of Michigan. Congratulations, ladies. Won the district championship against Novi yesterday. You know, it was really cool, Justin, as we come to a site and talk to the home school and say, hey, we'd love to talk about what makes your community special. What makes Northville special? They said, frankly, we got a great volleyball team. Talk about them a little bit, too.
Yeah, great tradition here in a lot of different sports, and you see the community out in full support tonight. It's awesome to see.
This is Northville's second drive of the night. They'll run it with Caleb Moore, who barely appeared on the first drive, and he's been the man on this drive. Kyle Roberts, the tackle for CC.
And I think at this point, if you're Northville, you know you want to control the clock. CC's having some really quick success now on offense. And go back to what's working. If that play worked, go run it again until CC stops it.
I'll fix the English. If it's not broke, don't fix it. as my mother would say when I would say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Ain't's not a word, Evan. Thanks, Mom. Caleb Moore will remain the running back. He's to the right of Pryor, and now he shifts into a pistol look. Besco, the motioning tight end. A lot of moving parts to this play. Thompson coming to the near side, and Catholic Central was ready. Cameron Lloyd stayed home.
Yeah, and again, when you play these Central Division teams, Catholic Central, you're going to have a great disciplined defense, well coached, and that's exactly what you see. Really good misdirection. I like the play call. It just took too long to develop. You wanted to hit that edge a little quicker, and it got strung out there, and great job there by the outside. Strong safety, really, Cameron Lloyd.
Entered the day with 43 tackles on the year. Also on the track team for CC in the spring. He runs on the relay.
All you young football players out there, run track if you can. Helps your game.
And if you're a lineman, wrestle. Pryor pumps, avoids the pressure, and has to throw it away. JoJo Massey busted that play from the get-go. So now, Justin, here we go. Curious spot for Northville, right? It's an offense that did a pretty good job on that first drive, staying ahead of the chains, third down, manageable. This is not manageable. What do you call it?
I like the space that they have on some of their stop passes, their bubbles. Maybe you run a stop pass. Maybe you pull out a little trick here. Catholic Central's getting a little bit comfortable. You want to keep them off balance, and you want to hit them with something that sucker punch that they're not expecting.
They did have a third down and 13 on their first drive. Got it to fourth down and converted on that play.
Watch a screen, too. You're getting a real aggressive defense from CC getting upfield.
Long drop Pryor. That is a looping, arcing throw that is caught by Nolan Thompson. And he's still going. What a conversion for Northville. Jack Davis and Josh Rood helping to slow him up, but this was just a coverage bust.
Yeah, definitely a miscommunication here, but really good job of Luca Pryor recognizing it, getting it out. That's a really hard throw from that backside hash, and Nolan Thompson does the rest and gets a big first down, keeping the sticks moving there for Northville Mustangs.
I think Luca Pryor picked his head up and went, oh my goodness, Nolan's that open, I gotta throw him the ball.
No doubt about it.
And he took the snap on 3rd and 13. That's exactly what he wanted to see. Pitch to Moore. Caleb running right. Got a couple of blocks on the outside, and then the cavalry came. That is the outstanding middle linebacker, Braden Corser, who entered the night with 86 tackles, making one more.
Yeah, and you see him coming from the inside. That's not an easy play, running sideline to sideline. You usually get some of these linebackers can either fill, or they can run sideline to sideline, or they can pass coverage. He's the guy that can do it all. Good play. I'm taking that if I'm the Northville Mustangs. It's a couple of yards, 3 yards, and a cloud of dust.
Well, this is a turf field, so turf pellets no best. But we get what you're saying. Pryor dropping back. Throw to the near side. It's caught again. First catch of the night for Colin Charles. And Northville is taking advantage of the secondary soft coverage by the Shamrocks.
Yeah, we talked about Luca Pryor a lot. Not only a great human being, but a really good football player that's savvy. He really always, you watch him on film, takes what the defense gives him. You see that corner bails right there, and he simply gets it out right now like a little hot route. Wide receiver breaks it off and really gets another good first down and staying in here throwing punches back at CC's defense.
Remember, Northville had a 3rd down and 13 about 2 minutes ago. And this drive is humming now. Play action for Luca Pryor again. Pressure coming from the backside. He tucks and runs. I tell you what, this senior quarterback just makes good decision after good decision, doesn't he?
Yeah, and you watch film, you don't really see him make a lot of mistakes. Again, a lot of kids are going to try to force something here. A lot of kids are going to take a sack. He extends plays. He keeps his eyes downfield, which makes him a consistent threat, and he knows when to run. You see Spencer Lyons, their outside linebacker, bail, and Luca Pryor sees it, sees his back, and he goes and takes the easy yardage.
And you probably saw left side of your screen, Gil Martin, 53, got just enough of a chip on Kyle Roberts to give Luca the time to run downfield for 8 yards.
Yeah, Gil Martin's been tremendous on both sides of the ball as a junior there for Northville Mustangs. It makes a good play there, free up Luca to get close to the first down.
They're trying to get the first down on this play. Maybe more. Pryor, long throw. Did he keep his feet in bounds? I think he did. Caden Besco, what a tightrope act.
Yeah, what a great play. He got called for a holding early in the game. Boy, did he make up for it. Toe tapped it. I mean, that's a big-time catch and a big-time throw to give him a chance on the move. You got these big guys running at you. Luca Pryor, again, extending the pocket, half roll, not panicking. He's always in control of his emotions, and you can see that their football team really depends on him. They follow him, and he's making some really big plays here to keep them in this game early.
What a great look on that replay as well. Shout out to our camera crew.
Caden Besco and Luca Pryor, great job.
They just ran a similar looking play that happened earlier in the ball game. A little shovel to the middle of the field. Shamrocks read it well there. Kyle Roberts on the tackle. So now, Justin, here we go. You are inside the red zone again. Both drives for Northville been in the red zone. Last one stalled. They have to kick 3. Kind of feels like you need a touchdown on this drive, right, with the way CC's been marching up and down the field?
Yeah, in high school football, you're going to get a lot of man-to-man at college football, any level, man-to-man in the red zone. So you're going to look for your matchup. Who do you have matched up that you trust that you can get the ball to?
Luca Pryor, looping it, corner of the end zone, jump ball, no. They were trying to get Hellner, and Brady Blakita was having none of it.
Yeah, I think if Luca keeps this ball in a little more inbounds and gives him a shot, this might be a touchdown. Blakita's a little outmatched with height right there. Gets in his hip pocket, which you want to do as a defensive back, and squeeze to the sideline. But he had a chance, just the ball was thrown a little bit over out of bounds.
Justin, if they get 4 or 5 yards on this play, is this 4-down territory?
Yeah, I think it is. I think 14-6 is good. You're still 1 score away. But if you get close to here to the first down, you were playing championship football. This is for the district championship. You're playing a high-quality opponent. You have to go for it.
Pryor, long drop, thrown to the end zone, and it's caught! That guy again, Caden Besco, touchdown! That is just the second touchdown of the year for Caden Besco. My goodness, did he show up on that drive.
Yeah, right here you're seeing some really good pressure off the side, off the edge from Catholic Central. Luca Pryor sees it right now. He knows he has a mismatch on a linebacker with big Caden Besco, who's made some really big plays on this drive, and huge touchdown for Northville Mustangs. Again, Luca Pryor lead and being a great field general, made a lot of really good plays, subtle plays, big plays, and led his team down for a great response for the Northville Mustangs.
Hey, you're playing for a district championship. This is maybe the biggest game in the history of Northville football. Punch for punch, baby. How about that throw and that catch? Mustangs are alive. All righty, Keats, thank you very much. Caden Besco gets to hold the heavyweight belt, it looks like, because he just scored a touchdown. All right, so we just saw the update in Division 6. And that is what the bracket looks like entering tonight. Justin, anyone on that screen catch your eye when you're looking at Division 6 here?
Yeah, West Catholic is very good. We saw Warren Collegiate. I actually had the call that game last year in the state championship. Really scrappy team, well-coached team there. So those guys are the ones that are going to be really competing, I think, for the state championship.
We'll be updating you on scores all night long, and make sure to stick around for the overtime show right after the ball game. Northville has learned its lesson. They're not going to kick to Brady Blakita. Oh my goodness, that's a loose football.
I think Northville has it.
They are untangling the bodies, and that sound you just heard is every single Catholic Central fan in attendance taking a big old breath.
Yeah, it would have been a huge play, obviously, turnover needed. They get sick of kicking to Brady Blakita, which we talked about it now, and Jordan McKeith comes down there.
That's Connor Davey, Justin.
Connor Davey,
yeah,
sorry, Connor Davey right there, could not handle the ball. And those guys don't get kicked to a lot. You know, the upbacks do right before Bakita because people don't want to kick to him. But those guys at the next level don't get a lot of hands on the football, and he dropped it in almost a disastrous play for CC.
Play action, Bo Jackson. All the time in the world. Deep shot, incomplete. They were trying to hit Connor Davey, the guy who just fumbled a kickoff.
Yeah, and had really good time. That you saw Northville kind of sat back in the zone there, had help over top. Really, anybody deep is the deepest man, and do a really good job of stopping a big play there, CC, because they had so much time and protection from that O-line.
You know, Justin, what I wonder, quite frankly, is Catholic Central is ripping off 5-6 yard chunks on every run. Why are you starting to drive with a pass instead of a run? I
don't mind it. You loosen them up. You take them off guard. There's been some big momentum swings right here. I don't mind that to loosen up the defense of Northville.
Back to the ground and Evan Hager. Here's another chunk. Evan Hager pushed out of bounds. There's still 8 minutes to go in the first half, and Catholic Central darn near has 100 rushing yards already. That was Max Anderson who escorted Evan Hager out of bounds.
When you're in this 3-4, you're going to get these ends right here really being linebackers that are stand-up. So you're going to have some issues with linemen getting their hands on these smaller linebackers, and that's what gave CC the edge, and Hager took it.
72 yards already for Evan, who ran for 172 last week. On the move again. How about that stiff arm? How about that power? Evan Hager's fun, man.
Yeah, this guy's thunder and lightning in one package. We've been watching him all year. He's had some tremendous runs. You watch the Davidson game, he had some runs that really turned your head, and does a great job of stiff arming and getting upfield right now, sticking his foot and getting vertical.
That's a freight train coming right in your living room. Remember how I said, you know, why are you not just keeping it on the ground? It sure seems like a good recipe for these Shamrocks. This is Bo Jackson. He wants 6 toward the end zone. No. Trying to hit Nico Genrich.
And even though Catholic Central has a lot of time, they're not as worried about Bo Jackson running maybe as Luca Pryor or Skylar Hunter, even though Bo Jackson does have a deceitful stride that can get some yardage. But he wants to be a pocket passer. He wants to throw the football. He wants to be disciplined back there. But what Northville's doing that's very good is they're sitting back in that zone. They have help over top, and they're not giving up the deep shots, and they're keeping everything in front of them. What they're not getting is pressure, and that may catch up to them.
Again, that goes to the size advantage for Catholic Central on the offensive line we've been talking about. There's Bo Jackson keeping it. It's like he's listening to us. Long strides to set up third down short as Gil Martin makes the tackle.
Yeah, and if you're Catholic Central, you're having really good success between the tackles. You're also getting to the edge. So if you see those linebackers, again, from the 3-4 walk up into a 5-2, and those aren't true defensive ends, you're going to try to get that edge because you feel your mismatch of your big tackles are going to win. You got some big guys out there, the Cal Rogowskis, you got the Cal Rutherfords.
Third down 3. Hager right. Evan Hager running right with a first down. Got that little stiff arm and a little wiggle. Drew Rankin brought him down, but not before a first down.
Yeah, we talked about these guys right here walking up, stand-up linebackers. Go ahead and roll it, and he just gets hooked, reached. You want a good reach block. He gets off of it, but he gets off of it late. And when you got a running back like Evan Hager, he's going to get that edge if you give him a split second. This is a game of inches and milliseconds, and he gets a big first down for CC.
You know, it reminds me of Ghostbusters. When you need him, who are you going to call? Evan Hager. Halloween was a few days ago. I can still say that, right?
Still eating my kids' candy.
Jackson rolling away from pressure, and he's brought down as he approaches the line of scrimmage. Cooper Hoffman brings him down, number 6.
Yeah, and if you can do some of these things to get some pressure out of this zone blitz, that's what you want to do because you're not going to give them all that time to sit down, but you're still keeping people in front of you, and you have some support in the back end of the defense at the safeties.
And, you know, Justin, we can talk all we want about how, the linebackers for Northville aren't that big. Well, the other side of the coin is they're athletic and can make open field tackles like they just did.
Yeah, and you make up for size with speed. And when you have speed, you can beat blocks. You can get beat getting pinned inside. the problem is when those big guys get their hands on you, sometimes that you get yourself in trouble, and that's what we've seen with CC get into the edge a couple times here in this drive.
Jackson on second down long. It's caught by Blakita. I think it's impossible for one man to tackle Brady Blakita. It took a couple of Mustangs. That was Groot and Ross on the tackle. A shot, though, for Northville here to make a stand, third down short.
And Northville does a really good job of pursuing to the football. They are a game tackling team. They're a selfless team. They look at everybody as 1 is 11, 11 is 1. And you see them. They're okay with that. They're going to keep Blakita in front of them. Now it's a third and short. Can we force them into a field goal here?
Put Jackson under center. Hager, your lone back. Give Evan Hager. Did not need much. Didn't gain a lot, but he did get the first down. The drive continues for Catholic Central. Shuckle on the tackle for Northville.
Yeah, on the right side of the line, you're just getting too much of man-on-man push. And Northville really had the left short side boundary field stacked. They need to stack the other side of the field. They're too tight. They're giving too much easy read to Catholic Central. Say, we're going to run right there. We're going to put man-on-man and go. You have to confuse them a little bit. Stunt, bring blitzes, stack each side, the wide side where they're most likely going to run the football.
Evan Hager again. Tried to win a race to the edge. He couldn't do it. The first man to him, his number 2 counterpart on the other side, Cullen Murphy.
Yeah, and you see Cullen Murphy and Owen Ross, inside linebacker, getting there. Max Anderson running downhill, and those defensive backs are going to have to get involved in that edge game if they want to stop it with the disadvantage with the size there on the ends.
Underrated facet of this drive, Justin. Catholic Central is taking a lot of time off the clock, which is important because Northville gets the ball to start the second half. Nobody's used a timeout yet. '11th play of the drive. Hager tried to score on it, and they do give it to him. Evan Hager just leaned ahead for his second touchdown of the night.
Yeah, you start seeing these safeties are getting involved in the run game, just get down a little late, but Evan Hager takes a big pop there from Owen Ross, the junior inside linebacker, but Hager just a little too much and put a big touchdown on with 4:23 left in the half.
Evan Hager, Mr. Inside, Outside, do it all on that drive, and he's over 100 yards tonight already. Jake Madigan back on to tack on the extra point. You know, you don't often have a lot of kickers who are also wrestlers, but he's also a wrestler. Evan Hager, a man possessed tonight. 8 touchdowns on the year and 2 have come tonight. Now a message from the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. This special presentation of the MHSAA High School Football Playoffs on Bally Sports Detroit, presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Good one here in Northville. Catholic Central and Northville going up and down the field, but we got to update you on some scores. And it is wild tonight, Justin. I mean, look at what we've got going on in Division I alone.
Yeah, Saline Belleville without their head coach on the sideline. A lot of adversity in the news. Don't know if that's affected them, but that's a big-time score in the first half. Caledonia Rockford 3-3 is becoming a defensive juggernaut. Not expect that, but Rochester Adams, they owe them one over the years, and you know they want this bad. Very similar energy in that stadium that it's in here, and you see a 7-on-7 game there. And Clarkson over Davidson. Grand Ledge, huge win over Brighton last week, and they're beating Holt in a big game.
And there's some interesting scores in Division II as well. Yeah, De La Salle's winning. We expected that, but rest of the board, man, we got some good ball games going on.
Yeah, another great rivalry, Groves and Seaholmes. Seaholmes had a great year. Guys like Kinney and Emerson over there. You got Waterford Mott. There's Osborne, the quarterback, is a big-time player. Midland, it's a great atmosphere up there playing anytime you go up there. Big, huge football community, and they're putting up a great fight there in Division II.
Well, if we're going to talk about good football players, we must talk about number 2 in Valiant Blue and Peerless White, Evan Hager. He's already up to 103 yards for the ball game, 2 touchdowns, and 44 rushing yards on the last drive alone.
I think that's putting him over 1,200 for the season. Anybody who has 1,000 yards in a football season in high school, you can play ball.
I stand by what I said earlier. Evan Hager is going to go play baseball at Alabama. I'm going to clip up this game and send it to Nick Saban. There is always room for more talent in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, with their 5 stars, they might be putting them on the bench, though.
Let's get a look at some scores that we will feature on halftime coming up in just a little bit. Again, just a wild night of high school football. Romeo Macomb, Dakota, and a good old-fashioned Mac Red slobber knocker. The Kicking Mules of Temperance Bedford against a really good Livonia Franklin team that beat this Northville team. And then Brother Rice against Walled Lake Western. You know, Brother Rice sneakily, despite the fact that they've been taking adversity and injuries and shots all year, that's a team that still has a lot of talent and could make noise in Division III.
Yeah, they're going to be well coached. They play a tremendous schedule, and they've been snake bitten by injuries all season. You hate to see it. They're playing without some of their superstars.
Thinking about Henry Garrity, their outstanding tight end who got hurt, and he's going to miss the rest of the year. This is Caleb Moore trying the middle of the Shamrock defensive line, and he maybe gained a couple of centimeters. JoJo Massey eating up space in the middle. His given name is Jovan, but no one calls him that. They call him JoJo.
Yeah, JoJo does a really good job. He's got quick hands. He's got really good balance and leverage, and he causes problems all season for the offensive lines that he's faced. He's a one-way player, so he has a lot of energy each time that he comes out. And but you do still, Northville still sticking to getting a push and keeping them honest inside.
The touchdown on the last drive was throwing from Pryor to Besco. Low snap and a flag halts the play before it can start.
Dead ball. False start. On the offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Thank you to Bob Check, our head official tonight. I think Bob leads the leaderboard of officials we have had on our Bally Sports Detroit Football Fridays. He is a familiar name and voice, and we appreciate all the hard work he does and all of the officials across the state of Michigan. Second down long for Northville. Coming up on 3.5 to go in the half. Pryor wants to throw. Luca throwing a fastball down the middle to Caden Besco, who just caught the touchdown to set up third down and shorter. Henry Graves made the tackle. You know, we brought up the officials here, and coming up at the half, we'll show you just a snippet on what it takes to become an official in the MHSAA. Natalie Kerwin and Devin Gardner dove in to find out what it's like to be an official this past week. And Keats and Lauren will be back to preview Football Fridays overtime.
As you can see, I gave maximum effort. So big, gassed and tired.
Has Devin Gardner ever not given maximum effort?
Enthusiastic for sure.
On the call for Iowa-Purdue tomorrow. Don't miss it. Third down long for Northville. Pryor forced to throw it all the way across the field, and it's incomplete. Hellner dove, tried to make the play, couldn't do it. Kyle Roberts bringing the pressure from the backside.
Yeah, and it's good to CC struggled last week keeping the edge, especially on the quarterback. Adam Sala from Dearborn hurt them a couple times getting outside. They did a good job of containing him inside to make him throw that football instead of pulling it down and running for a first down.
Luca Pryor stays on the field, but the starting quarterback for Northville is also the punter. He's averaging about 30 yards per punt this year. Brady Blakita is back deep for Catholic Central. Good looking kick from Pryor. Blakita tried to make the fair catch, and then the punt checks up. And Catholic Central was supposed to start in Northville territory, but Braden Corser, number 37, pushed a Northville man down on the return.
Yeah, you can't do that. Big game, big emotions. You have to keep them under control. It's right out in front of everybody. They're going to call it whether you instigated it or not. Big no-no. I know Coach Anderson is going to make sure he lets Braden Corser feel the wrath of that.
Watch the right side of your screen. 37 locked up with one of the Northville guys in punt coverage. Well, Braden clearly getting out some frustration. You can understand why the flag was thrown. Again, Justin, this speaks to what we were talking about in the open. Northville and Catholic Central, there's a lot of crossover, and I think there was a wee bit of frustration.
Personal foul on the receiving team. 50-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You get kicked out for things like that. I understand that you're trying to keep the guy down, but you cannot do that repeatedly. Has to do a better job at controlling emotions.
And you can understand Dan Anderson's frustration. On many levels, the drive now starts at the 35 instead of plus territory. A little bit of re-encouragement, but Braden's a senior. That's not a type of thing you'd expect someone like that to do.
Yeah, senior captain, they're still young men. They make mistakes. You know, you want to let them know that you're not satisfied with that. You want to let them know that you're not going to do that again, but you also want to keep his head in the football game. And Coach Laddick is not happy.
Why do you think he's not happy?
Yeah, when our coach is happy. Yeah.
They're happy for about 8 seconds after the game ends, and then they start thinking about everything else. Bo Jackson all the time in the world. He'll step up and run to the right side, spin away from one of the linebackers. He got away from Cooper Hoffman, and it took a pack of Mustangs to bring him down. Again, going back, Justin, to what you were talking about. Bo's got deceptive speed.
Yeah, he does. He has a long stride, so he's going to cover a lot of ground. It's not going to look overwhelming as far as speed, but he does a really good job of doing what he does well, is being a pocket passer. Northville wants to keep everything in front. They don't want any big plays, and they want to keep points off the board.
Bo Jackson throwing this time, and he nearly threw a pick. He was looking at Davey the entire time, and Evan Deek nearly got a gift.
Well, I don't want to short Evan Deek neither. He's a tremendous athlete. He can run, and he does a really good job of eyeing this ball down, staying on the hip, and breaking right when he should break. He wished he'd had that one back for a pick six or an interception that would swing this momentum of the game significantly before half.
A break for Catholic Central, and now 3rd down 4. Back into the security blanket of Evan Hager, but he met defensive line play. El Zayat making the tackle, and now it's 4th down short. Does Catholic Central think about it?
Yeah, you might, if you really believe in your run game and your offense, and they want to do it, they want to go for it, so that's championship mindset. But great job by Hassan El Zayat. He's a scrappy guy on film. He's stout inside and does a really good job to keep him short of the 1st down. They're going to have to make a big play here. Quarterback sneak.
Jackson goes under center. It is a give to Hager, who was met near the line of scrimmage. Spot is going to give Catholic Central the 1st down. When you only need a couple of inches, all you got to do is lean forward. Adanasio, 88 in black and orange, couldn't get to Hager in time. So Catholic Central calls a timeout, which gives us a second here to look back at what could prove to be a pivotal conversion here for CC.
Well, look, this is a big football game. You get 2 really different spots from the referees. The one from the top is much further. The one from the bottom is more accurate, in my opinion. And you need to measure this. You know, you got to take the time right here to watch the referee at the bottom in his spot. It's very close, and I understand the frustration from the Northville fans.
Yeah, I mean, you said it, Justin. They're off by a full yard.
Yeah,
not even close.
And that's why they took the bottom ref's measurement. They took his spot, but you still have to measure it.
Well, there's been a couple of interesting moments here. Let's get a message from Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
For over 50 years, your family has trusted Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call Family Heating and Cooling now for all of your family's heating and cooling needs.
Visit FamilyHeating.com today.
Catholic Central just called their 1st time out of the half, looking for more points. Jackson the drop. Bo Jackson the shot down the field, and he's got his guy. It's Nico Genrich, who only had 6 catches on the season coming into tonight. That's number 3 on the evening. The junior showing out.
And really good job of Bo Jackson looking to the right, scanning his reads, getting to really his third check, and great job by the wide receiver there. He sees no safety, Nico Genrich, so he runs away from the corner, and that's the first time you've seen Northville really put their defensive backs in a one-on-one situation with no help over top, and they got burned. And I don't think it was a great time to do it because you don't want them scoring before half. That middle of the field is wide open, and as we said, Nico Genrich runs to it. You don't stay covered. You run to space, and Bo Jackson puts a beautiful ball up there for a huge play for CC, knocking on the door to score one more before the second half.
You know, Nico's family is loving that. That is a proud Catholic Central family. They travel to every single game, home and away. Went down to Cincinnati for a game a couple of weeks ago. Nico's brother Gio played on the football team at Catholic Central. And now Nico making a big catch here. Catholic Central calling another timeout. So you got 65 seconds to go in the half. And it's curious how Catholic Central attacks it because of this. Northville's got all 3 timeouts. First thing in their favor. Thing in their favor, number 2, they get the ball to start the second half. So yes, CC wants to score, but they want to bleed off a little clock here as well, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and you're not expecting Northville to maybe put the foot on the gas because they don't want to make any mistakes before half. They want to regroup and try to get points on the board with their first possession.
Bo Jackson, a strike down the middle. It's caught. Touchdown. That guy again. Genrich is playing his heart out. Again, Nico Genrich had 6 catches all year before tonight. He has 4 in this game alone.
And let's give credit to Bo Jackson. He is throwing 2 dimes, 2 plays back-to-back. He sees the leverage is not inside by Drew Rankin, who's covering Nico Genrich, and he throws that slant. The number 1 rule you have as a defensive back is take away the inside, and he gave it up, and that went for a touchdown and 6 points, big 6 points before the second half here of the game.
We've been billing this district title bout all day, kind of like a heavyweight fight. Haymaker, haymaker. Well, there's still time to go in this championship bout. But quite frankly right now, Justin, Catholic Central's landing a lot of uppercuts.
Yeah, it's been a heavyweight fight. You almost had the turnover there on the kick return. Some things that didn't go their way. A couple missed interceptions by Northville. But then you see here, scanning, being the pocket passer that he is, and he's a good one. Bo Jackson, sophomore, Detroit CC, finds the middle of the defense there vacant, hits Nico Genrich, and then comes back right to the slant because he saw leverage from that corner, not where it was supposed to be in the red zone on a man-to-man situation. He hits him for a touchdown and big points there on the board with 1:03 left in the second quarter.
I mean, put yourselves in the shoes of Nico Genrich. All year, he's been the 4th receiving option for Catholic Central. Season on the line, oh, I'll catch a 30-yard bomb. Oh, I'll catch my first touchdown of the year. That's what good programs are made of. When your name is called upon, go make a play.
Yeah, and you need it in playoff football. You need other people to step up. You're getting a lot of film watched by a great staff here at Northville. They know who's going to hurt you. They're going to try to take them away and forces other guys to step up. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Here tonight, Nico Genrich is.
Dan Anderson wanted his team to have a better first half. To be blunt, didn't play well. First half last week against Dearborn. That's why they nearly lost. I'd say he's going to like this first half a little better. Let's see if Northville can return this one. They will get a shot with Thompson. Nolan busted a big one earlier, and he had to be tripped up in the open field. Nearly had a nice return. Thompson on that return, giving Northville a shot into the first half. Petrus made the tackle. Bally Sports Detroit, once again your home for the MHSAA Football Finals. Thanksgiving weekend tradition sees 8 state champs crowned. We'll have Divisions 8, 2, 6, and 4 on Friday, and Divisions 7, 1, 5, and 3 on Saturday. All games on Bally Sports Detroit, Bally Sports Detroit Extra, and the Bally Sports app. Such an outstanding tradition. Thanksgiving weekend in Michigan means one thing, football. And we'll have your fill from Ford Field. Dreams coming true all weekend long. Luca Pryor throwing, and it's incomplete. They tried to get Spencer Lyons, the linebacker, in tough coverage, and Spencer did a nice job on Nick Helm.
Yeah, have to be careful in coverage, not coming through the body when you're trying to break up a ball, and that's what the Northville sideline wanted to call pass interference. They get away with one, I think, there, and second down and 10.
Hey, Justin, if you're the coaching staff of Northville, 3 timeouts, you get the ball to start the second half. You know, I'm kind of curious how they attack this scenario with how the first half is wound down. This is a run for Luca Pryor to the left side. Luca's got a little room, and he runs out of bounds. If you're one of those coaches on Northville sideline, what are you doing? You trying to go down the field? You playing for the second half? What do you think?
I'm actually surprised they haven't did more of their screen game on the, what I consider long handoffs, but it's a pass play, rocket screen, bubble, stop passes. That starts getting the defense to run a little more. They get tired. They have to stay honest to that. You can get some really good trick plays or counter punches off of that with runs vertically. So I would like to see that, and I think Luca needs to start running a little bit more. He's had a couple times. He's done the right thing with the ball, but some designed runs would help them.
Luca Pryor to throw. There's one of those screens. It's Nolan Thompson with a good gain. Once again, Justin Cessante just tells the truth.
Well, you've seen them be successful with it, and when you got an aggressive defense that is fast, you want to let them get upfield, invite them, and then hit them, and that's exactly what they did. Big play there. Good job by the offensive coordinator.
So the clock will tick, and Northville does not call one of their 3 timeouts. They get it snapped. Pryor throws. Thompson catches. Cuts back to the middle of the field. Now he dives out of bounds. Good looking play. Josh Rude finally got to him, but Northville can save a timeout here.
And Nolan Thompson is shifty, man. When he gets that football, he's the Brady Blakita for Northville Mustangs. He is a threat to take it. Obviously, both defenses do a really good job of running to the football, pursuing, tackling, and he does a really good job of not only doing that, but getting out of bounds to stop it and preserve their timeouts. I think now you give a really good chance we can get 3 points on the board, and that's a big win for Northville, but I know that they want the 6.
And frankly, Nolan Thompson's had to play well tonight, Justin. The guy on the near side of the screen, Angelo Rodriguez, he's Northville's best receiver. 35 catches on the year, not a 1 tonight. This is Luca Pryor again, meeting a Shamrock wall. Danilo Guberinic in the middle, making the tackle, and Northville's got to burn a timeout.
Yeah, and you'd like to see Luca get rid of that ball so they don't take a sack, but they have the timeouts, and he doesn't make a bad decision. He just sits on it and gets another play. Seeing here, CC is just pinning their ears back. They know they're in a passing situation. They got burned by that screen again. I wouldn't mind if Northville went back to that or bring out a trick play, a pass. Let them get burnt. Let them get a broken coverage here. You had 26 running right down the sideline there. Had a step, Angelo Rodriguez. We just talked about him. You got to get them involved in the game. You got to get your playmakers making plays. And if you can't do it passing, Evan, you do it in jet sweep game, you do it in reverses, you do it in stop passes. Just get the ball in space to your athletes and let them go.
Well, frankly, as well, you could see the frustration of Angelo on that play. To your point, you just got to get them involved and keep them loose. You don't want to say they'll lose interest down the stretch of the ball game, but, you know, when you get to the second half, maybe you don't run around as hard because you're thinking, gee, they haven't thrown it to me yet today. Will they finally do it here?
Yeah, get his confidence going, get some touches on the football, make sure all your playmakers are involved so there's not that frustration, and you're keeping CC honest on what they've scouted. They know that he's a threat. And you have a linebacker on him, and that's a mismatch. He is their top receiver. You have a linebacker. Spencer Lyon's a very good athlete, but that's a matchup that you want to take and you want to win.
20 seconds to go in a first half that's had a little bit of everything. Pryor rolling right and throwing a strike. It's Nolan Thompson again, who keeps his feet in bounds and then gets out of bounds. Awfully close to a first down.
And not an easy throw from a high school quarterback. Rolling out, got pressure, have to square your shoulders, and you're throwing to the sideline. Not an easy throw.
Luca Pryor in this first half, tip your cap to him. Starting quarterback for Northville is 12 of 18 for about 120 yards and a touchdown to Caden Besco.
And the most impressive thing is on the second play of the game, he took an absolute licking from Spencer Lyons off a blitz and got back up, kept taking, and is taking care of the football.
Still time for Northville here. Luca Pryor, pressure coming again. He steps up and goes down. It's Kyle Roberts, his 4th sack of the season. And now Northville starting to run out of time.
Yeah, and you'd like to see, we talk about Luka, he is a very savvy football player. We watched a lot of film on him, but you'd like to see him throw the ball away. He just didn't have a lot of time. You had a really good rush there by JoJo Massey in the middle. You have good coverage downfield. This is really a coverage sack. Brady Bakita is on Angelo Rodriguez. He's giving him fits and matching his quickness and speed. But you want to see them try to preserve this, try to make sure they're not losing yardage, and they put themselves in a good position to at least get a field goal.
Yeah, that's the thing. Their kicker, Sam Wiest, again, normally 28. He's wearing 87 tonight. Had to give his jersey to his girlfriend. He's got range from 50.
Yeah.
Which, if you do the math, you got to get to about the 35, 33-yard line to think about it. Northville's at the 48. He's 2nd down and long. You got about 10 seconds to work with. Yeah, you got the timeout, but you need to get 15 yards on this play to even kind of think about a field goal try.
Yeah, and a quarterback draw or going back to the screen just takes too much time to develop. What I would do is attack the middle of the field. I like some of the scheme that Northville run this past season with some mesh routes, some switch routes, meaning, you're bunching up the receivers. If you got a man-to-man situation or even zone, it makes it confusing for who you have, or they get open very quickly, and you need to strike first and fast and get this ball in field goal position.
So we'll see how Northville attacks. Could be their final play of the first half. Let's find out.
Caden Besco's made some big plays. Get the ball to the big man.
And before the play, a whistle. They're pointing Catholic Central.
Dead ball. Encroachment. On the defense.
Big play.
5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
So now you really only have to get 10 yards on this play to think about field goal.
And that's where I'm putting Caden Besco. He's 6'1", 210. He actually looks like he's probably 6'2" or 6'3". But put him on a linebacker. Linebackers for Catholic Central aren't overly big. And get him in the middle field and post up.
That's how he scored the touchdown. Remember the little lob to the middle of the end zone? We'll find out what magic Luca Pryor has in that right arm.
Now watch this switch route here with Caden Besco and number 12, Nick Heldner. Watch them switch here and get exactly what they need in the middle of the field.
That's Besco in motion. They're taking a deep shot. A man is open and they missed him. Oh my goodness. They were trying for Angelo Rodriguez, who nearly took the lid off this place.
And look, Angelo has to leave his feet on this. You got to leave it all out on the field. He might have had a chance if he left his feet. He had Bakita beat, stemmed him outside. Bakita loses his feet as he gets back inside on the route, and he needs to leave his feet there. He might have had a chance.
Kind of goes back to what we were talking about, right? You don't get one of your better players the ball early, and the frustration just builds throughout the night.
Yeah, now you're in a situation, you have 3.8 seconds, you have 1 play left. I don't know if you can get the ball out, get in position for a kickoff or a field goal, excuse me. So you're between a rock and a hard place if you're Northville.
Poor Luca knows he just missed a shot. Could be the final play of the half. Luca Pryor over the middle. Besco caught it, then he pitched it back. I think they have to call that an incomplete pass that ends the first half. Poor Caden just lost a catch.
Yeah, right here, throws it. They're trying to do a little hook and ladder. They get it to big Caden Besco, which you would have probably wanted them to do the play before, even though they had an opportunity for a big home run, and he pitches it back and just can't get it to Nolan Thompson. And unfortunately there, they get no points on the board, but they do get the ball back and start the second half.
For what it's worth, if they got the ball in the hands of Thompson, there was a lot of room.
Yeah.
There was a lot of room.
2 plays back-to-back that could have went for a home run that they definitely needed on the board before the second possession.
So we've reached halftime here at Northville High School, and Catholic Central leading, standing by their head coach, Dan Anderson, who wanted a fast start from his team. Coach, last week against Dearborn, you started slow. Tonight, you started hot. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, we talked about it all week, that we had to come out and we had to play fast, and we got to keep playing fast. I mean, they have a good offense, and we got to keep keep the pressure on them.
What are your thoughts as we go into the second half? How can you keep the pressure on them?
We got to keep playing good defense. I felt like after those first 2 drives, I felt like we kind of settled in defensively. And, we're getting more pressure on that quarterback. He's a good quarterback, and we got to keep pressure on him, and we got to contain him.
Coach, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dan Anderson going for win number 44 in the career at Catholic Central. They're on the road in a hostile environment. Northville's had its moments, but Catholic Central keeps wearing them down. Those nosy neighbors from down the road, the Shamrocks of Detroit Catholic Central. The lead of the break. All right, we're back at Northville High School, about to start the second half. Catholic Central in front of the hometown Northville Mustangs. Head coach Matt Laddick, thankfully giving us just a little bit of time here. Coach, scoreline's deceiving. You guys are in this game. The opportunities are there. How do you turn those close plays into good plays for your club in the second half?
You know, I think you're right. I mean, you said we are there. We've had so many opportunities that we've just come up an inch or two shy, and we just got to keep believing in everything that we're doing and keep giving our kids an opportunity to make plays, and I believe that they will.
Coach, appreciate your time. Best of luck second half.
All right, thank you.
Look, Coach Laddick has just got to be frustrated, Justin, with the way that first half resulted, because as we look at the stats, these guys are in the game. Again, it's an 18-point game. It could very easily be a 3-point game, 7-point game.
Yeah, no turnovers, a couple of big missed turnovers on 2 interceptions, a close fumble on a kickoff return. I think some things they could have controlled was not giving CC short fields because they were kicking to Blakita on the kickoff. But again, a game of inches, a game of milliseconds, and right there, Northville has been in position to make the plays, especially that last big pass at the end of the half that they could have put some much-needed points on the board and just could not get. And it's going to start building up and accumulating, so they need to figure out how to turn those almosts, because it's only good in horseshoes and hand grenades, and how you turn those into successful plays and putting points on the board.
There's a great country song by Jordan Davis called Almost Maybes. That's kind of the first half for Northville. Almost maybes all over the place.
Yeah, and you have to look at the bright spot. What are the bright spots? You are doing a good job with the football. You're taking care of it. You're keeping, for the most part, things in front of you, but you let a couple home runs happen, and you did not want that. That was part of the game plan. We'll see how they respond here in the second half.
This is Jake Madigan once again kicking away for Catholic Central. Let's see if Northville gets a chance on a return here. They will. It's Thompson who's been doing it all night. And Nolan Thompson's got some room. That is an underrated facet of the ball game for Northville, Justin. They can flip it around just like that with a good return.
Well, on both sides. Why are you kicking to the best athletes on the field? Blakita and Nolan Thompson are the best athletes. Why kick it to them and give them an opportunity? And you see the momentum. Every time they touch it, they're getting a little more, and it's only a matter of time before it's broke.
Again, here you go to what we're talking about. Northville has had sustained drive after sustained drive in this game. Luca Pryor has found holes in the defense, but to be blunt about it, your season's on the line here in the second half. You got to start making some plays, or Catholic Central's moving on.
Yeah, you got to go to 0-0 mentality right now. New half, new game.
We'll start with a run with Caleb Moore. Try to keep the legs moving and gain maybe a yard. And Caleb Moore was kind of an interesting situation in that first half, Justin. Number 13 for Northville, 136 carries on the season. And about 5 or 6 in that first half, and he's coming off the field again. You can sense his frustration.
Yeah, and he has to understand, too, to run where the fits are, run where the play is designed, because you're trying to get outside of this pretty long defensive ends here at Catholic Central. Kai Roberts making another really good play. They're tall. They have good wingspan. You need to hit it and get your 3-4 yards.
This is a long play to Thompson on the outside, and he takes a little bit of a hit by Josh Brood. Josh had 4 tackles last week. One more here to set up third down medium.
Yeah, that was a true QB read. Luca was hanging on to it, deciding if he wanted to pull, watching that backside end. He didn't, gave it late, and really wasn't able to get a lot. But they're still in a third and mid situation. And again, I'm going back to the screen game. I'm going back to the fake stop pass and get it to a slant or some type of mesh route.
Hey, we were just talking about all those close calls for Northville. Got to start making plays. Here you go, money down, third down.
There's the swing pass. It is caught on the perimeter. First catch of the game for Angelo Rodriguez, and he barely gained anything. Maybe 2 yards. Lloyd got to him, and Northville forced a punt.
Yeah, and a big stand here for Catholic Central to set the tone for the second half. They finally get it to one of their big playmakers, Angelo Rodriguez, but does a really good job there. Cameron Lloyd and defensive backs are playing outside in, pushing them to the teeth of the defense, everybody else pursuing. And again, we talked about great pursuing defenses here on both sides of the football.
Luca Pryor will fake it. That was a read all the way. Got to make a man miss. He did. Luca Pryor, what could be a game-changing play.
Oh my goodness, we talked about savvy for this young man, Luca Pryor. He not only takes care of the football, but he knows when to put the foot on the gas, and he exactly did. It's always a great threat to have your quarterback as a punter. He can throw it, and you got a man that's used to leading and touching the football and leading his team down the field, and he makes a huge momentum play, catches Catholic Central special teams sleeping, and we talked about Northville has special teams in all 3 phases that's going to hurt you, and they just showed how they can do it.
Look, cliches are true for a reason. There are 3 phases to a football game. How do you spring an upset? Make some big plays on special teams. Northville has done it, as you say, at least 3 or 4 times tonight.
And what a stop and spin move there, right? Getting it, just do what you have to do to get the first down.
Luca Pryor rolling, throwing. Thompson makes the catch, but Catholic Central, with a flag, rallies to the football. It's Cameron Lloyd on the tackle. I think they're going to get Caden Besco here on a hold. Watch him, 27.
Yeah, and this is the second hold of the game out there. And again, when you're on an island, it's really hard. That is one of the most difficult positions and plays to make in football, is being a wide receiver in a stalk blocking position on an island that you have to keep your hands inside. You can't grab, and he got his hands on the back. It was the right call.
First down.
Quite frankly, that's a thankless job. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, right, we did it when we played and coached and do that. You're in that and you're practicing stalk drills. Is probably the least favorite part of practice. You're paying attention to detail, how you break your feet down, how do you fit your hands, and how do you take great pride into that day in and day out.
Well, we made it into the second half without revealing that we're a couple of Catholic Central fans. This is a pitch back to Pryor, who throws, and it's caught. Besco makes the catch, and Pryor did a great job here of fitting it around Graves, who had pretty good coverage.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, you see Luca here, he's finding his go-to right now, and their mismatch is really Caden Besco. He's getting matched up with linebackers. He's a big body. He has really soft hands, and he's doing a really tremendous job of hurting the Catholic Central defense every time he gets an opportunity. Luca is again, just showing how savvy he is, and there will be a college program that comes knocking on his door after this season.
He's impressed tonight, no doubt about that. He's given the time here. Pass is incomplete with a flag. Braden Corser got a little too handsy.
Yeah, and the play before, Luca was even lined up as a quarterback. He was a wide receiver in motion. So you see Northville going in deeper in their playbook, understanding you got to keep them off balance, be creative. We have 24 minutes for a lifetime right now to make this game happen for us, and we're going to pull all of our stops.
Holding on the defense, 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
Yeah, we talked about Caden Besco is that mismatch. They're working him inside the field against the smaller linebackers there at Catholic Central. He's a big body, even though Catholic Central linebackers are not small guys. But, again, you cannot work through the body to make that play. You have to come off the hip, keep your hand off the back, and they get an easy call there for pass interference.
Now, remember, you may be thinking, gee, in the NFL, holding, that's automatic first down. Only automatic first downs in high school, any penalty that starts with roughing. Everything else, you just march off the yardage and go from there. This is a run to the right side. Northville trying the perimeter, but Catholic Central gets to it well. Deke brought down by Henry Graves and Josh Ross. Josh plays on the Hoops team. 42, Henry Graves has been making plays all over the place tonight for Catholic Central. Henry had to come into the lineup for CC when Beckler Hauser got hurt in the De La Salle game.
And Northville coaching staff you just saw is trying to draw up a winning play here. 3rd down 1.
Yeah, what do we want to do here? You got Angelo Rodriguez, your go-to on a one-on-one matchup on the outside here. You're going to see him right there. Let's see what happens here.
Luca Pryor rolling, tucking, running, and getting out of bounds. As Lloyd and Lemieux were coming to get it, you'd have to think this is 4-down territory.
It is, and you'd like to see Luca make a decision to run that quicker. Didn't have the D end out there containing. You had a tackle chasing you. He's usually making those really good decisions. He could have potentially got that 1st down, but at this point right now, it is 4th down territory. Let's dial up our best play. What is that best play? Is that a 2-point conversion play that you typically use? You pull out of when you really need to, that CC hasn't seen on film? That's what I'm going to.
Watch out for 27 Besco. Slot right side of your screen. He's been the target on this drive. Luca Pryor running for his life. He loops a long throw, and it's incomplete. Rude on the coverage. Tried to find Colin Charles, and frankly, Luca just ran out of time here.
Yeah. Yeah, right here you're going to see Kyle Roberts. He's got a really good rush. He keeps his outside arm free even though he gets pulled in a little bit and forces Luca to make a throw on the run, which is hard. You got to square up your shoulders. Doesn't have an opportunity to run. Keeps that outside free, which just pressures him enough and just cannot get the ball there. And big turnover on downs for the Catholic Central defense.
They withstood the fake punt for a 1st down. And the Shamrocks start at the 30. So run to the left side for not very much. Northville does a good job rallying to the football as Max Anderson makes the tackle.
And Max Anderson, the safety for strong safety for Northville, is an active player. You see him on film; he is all over the place. He's going to be in coverage. He's going to be coming downhill. He's not afraid to stick his nose in there and makes a really good play. CC had some early success running downhill in the 1st half, and that's a good stop for Northville's defense.
By the way, the guy who just carried the ball for Catholic Central, Andrew Kitchen, that was his 1st carry of the season. What a time for it! Win or go home game. You think Andrew thought he was getting the ball when he woke up this morning?
Not very interesting.
This is Bo Jackson on 2nd down. Pumping, looking both ways, and he finds his outlet across the middle. Frankly, just find Evan Hager, get him the ball, and let him make something happen.
Yeah, but let's give the credit where the credit's due. It's the offensive line. Just a tremendous protection, and then let's give Bo Jackson his credit. He is reading. You're watching his eyes. Young quarterbacks, watch him read his different options all the way from 1, 2 to 3 back to the running back, which was number 4, his last option, and really being able to scan the field and stay disciplined in those reads is pretty impressive by this young sophomore.
Getting to all your reads, somewhere Peyton Manning smiles. This is Evan Hager again, and he's brought down to the open field. Chop your feet and make a play, Evan Deek. Cooper Hoffman in there as well.
Yeah, Cooper Hoffman there doing a great job playing downhill, getting right to the running back. That is not an easy play there. To get downhill, it opens up, and he just takes the legs out very quickly. Good read, opens up, runs his gap, and makes a good open field tackle.
Cooper Hoffman, a multi-sport star. He plays baseball here at Northville as well. Speaking of baseball, there's Evan Hager. He was tripped up by his shoelaces as he ran left. Cooper Hoffman made the tackle again. All right, here we go. Halfway through the 3rd quarter, Catholic Central with an 18-point lead. You hate to be so blunt about it, Justin, but if Northville's going to spring an upset, they got to get a stop.
Yeah, they definitely have to get a stop, and they cannot continue to give up that edge. That is too easy for Catholic Central. As soon as they get stopped inside, they just go right back outside. And again, because you have the underside linebackers playing that defensive end role, they're having issues. Hunter and Deke, they've done a pretty good job of trying to slice it, but you're not keeping it upfield.
Hager brought down in the backfield. Evan Deek, what a play.
And this is what you want to see. You read your keys as a linebacker. He sees it open up right now. You don't hesitate. You get downhill, and it gets a huge tackle for loss there. Evan Hager had nowhere to go. Great job by Evan Deke. He's all over the field.
Entered the night with 75 tackles, tied for the team lead, and he wanted a little juice in front of an outstanding crowd here tonight in Northville. Punt away by Kyle Ewing, and it has taken an outstanding roll. Thompson again. Made a couple of man miss. Got a block on the outside. And once again, Northville does a good job on special teams to get a little bit better field position. This is one of the biggest football games in the history of Northville High. They've still got time, but they need points. They need it fast. And they need some plays on special teams. Make sure to stay with us after the ball game ends for Football Friday's Overtime, powered by State Champs. John Keating and Lauren Plant are going to recap the best of the district finals round of the playoffs across our great state, plus post-game reaction from our game of the week right here in Northville. Stay with us for the OT, powered by State Champs and presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. All I have to say is that there are a lot of interesting games going on around the state, a lot of classics, and if you're not watching the OT show, I'm not quite sure why.
You're missing out.
All right, so Northville just got a stop on D, and they're back on O. This is deep to the right side, and he's brought down from behind by Braden Corser. That's that 4.6 40 speed coming from behind to get you.
Yeah, and that's a really good sweep. They had the band was out there marching for Evan Deke to block, and you see why he's up for the Anvil Award for state champs. Braden Corser running sideline to sideline. He's able not only to do that, get there and make the tackle. That's a great job by the young man.
Keep Deke on the field. Luca Pryor wants to throw. The pressure is coming again, and he's forced to throw it away. Justin, this is exactly what Catholic Central wanted when we spoke to him earlier this week. We think we can win on the lines, and frankly, as this game goes along, Luca Pryor's running for his life because they keep coming for him.
Yeah, and they also said we want to force him to throw, and it's not because Luca's not a good quarterback. It's because they feel if they can't keep him honest with the run and counter off of that with their scheme, then they become that one-trick pony we talked about. And right now, you get to pin your ears back with this big, fast defensive line of CC. So definitely Northville has to dial something up. If I'm dialing something up right now, I'm going to try to attack the middle of the field and look back for that Caden Besco mismatch.
Third down. Luca Pryor spinning and running. Cue the circus music. Luca Pryor out of bounds. JoJo Massey finally got to him. Luca tried to do his best Russell Wilson in his prime impression, but he wasn't cooking on that play.
Yeah, does a really good job of keeping his eyes downfield, escaping the pressure. He's had pressure in his face all night. It's really going to be the story of this game right now. And you know, instead of trying to make a play happen, risking a pick six or some type of devastating turnover, he just runs out of bounds, and they're going to now have to punt.
He did fake a punt to get a first down on the last drive. This is a high snap that he's got to put down, and he sends the kick away. Takes an excellent roll, and it'll die right around the 40. And now a message from the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
Returning AZ Plan lessees can order an F-150 today and lease it for $299 a month for 24 months. Only at your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first.
Alrighty, Justin, let's put our minds on that Catholic Central sideline here. You're up by 18 points, 3.5 to go in the third quarter. How you attacking?
Yeah, look, if you get another score, it's going to be very difficult with the way things are going offensively for Northville to come back in this game. If I'm CC, I'm going to run it down the pipeline and force my will, impose my will, and see if that breaks them.
This is Spencer Lyons, driving across the 45-yard line. Cooper Hoffman, another tackle.
He was tripped up for the Mustangs by number 6, Cooper Hoffman.
Spencer Lyons, guy who goes both ways. He's not the starting running back, but he does have 82 carries on the season entering tonight.
Frankly, the problem with Spencer is he's had too many fumbles this year. He's fumbled it 4 times.
Yeah, and you got a guy, Evan Hager, who takes care of the football, runs extremely well, and you got a guy going both ways majority of the time. That's why he's took him minimum snaps.
That is Bo Jackson keeping it on the read. It was the wrong decision. Evan Deek got him.
And Evan Deek might be around 15 tackles right now. He is all over the field. You see the heart of this Northville defense. We talked about him. He is the middle of it, him and Hunter Laddick, and he is doing a great job of being disciplined, keying his reads, and getting downhill for a really good tackle for loss in open space.
So here you go. Northville's pulse is still pumping, but with 2.5 to go in the third and you're down by 18, 3rd and 7, gotta get off the field.
Bring a stunt, bring a pressure.
Here it comes, and Jackson zips it out. Did DJ Lee make the catch? Is it a catch or a fumble? This is a pivotal call. DJ Lee on the far side. Let's take a look.
Yeah, I think when you get your hands on the ball and you're able to take some steps upfield, they're going to give you that catch. It's a really close call, though, and I understand the frustration from Northville.
It's the phrase that gives us nightmares in Detroit. Did he complete the process of the catch? Here is Nico Genrich. Another good gain for number 7 in white and blue. Owen Ross made the tackle, and there is a flag. It's catch number 5 in the night for Nico.
Run, but they give him holes to run in.
We talked about how scrappy this Northville defense is, but this team is scrappy. You see no give up, you see a lot of heart, and they're going to finish this game. And when you do that, good things start happening. You're starting to see CC making a couple mistakes. They're starting to be a little careless with the ball. You need to keep putting the pressure on to see what happens.
Yeah, and that just is embodied by Matt Laddick, the head coach for Northville, and frankly, the entire attitude on their roster. They say, lovingly, we're a bunch of 0 stars. We just go out there and give it everything we got.
They got some players, though.
Yes, they do. That's Spencer Lyons running right. Took a couple of guys to bring him down, but they finally did it. Laddick and Anderson combining on the tackle.
These guys are in a lot of plays. They're coming downhill right now. They know CC's going to try to run some time off the clock. They're going to try to impose their will, and they need to stack the box a little bit, still covering themselves on the back end so there's no big pass plays off of play action.
Oh, Jackson. Incomplete. A rare mistake for Brady Blakita.
We haven't said this name much. Evan Deek tonight just does a really good job in his drop, trying to find the football. Gets there. He's in the vicinity.
So another 3rd down. Minute to go, just about 3rd quarter. Season on the line. That's why you lift all those weights in the offseason. Someone going to make a play on this one.
And that's why communities are so passionate about their football team. They know how much blood, sweat, and tears goes in at sacrifice. It rallies communities. It brings people together. Greatest game ever. Friday Night Lights. Let's go.
3rd down. Jackson dropping way back to set up the screen to Jaden Piden. He just got it off, and Jaden made it work for a pivotal Catholic Central 1st down.
Yeah, and these are things that are so frustrating if you're Northville's defense. Does a really good job. You see the pressure off the edge, then he picks up the swing on the running back. Bo Jackson's being very patient. That comes in hand when you're a great pocket passer, and just gets it off to get the 1st down. It's just chipping. It has to be chipping away on this Northville staff and sideline.
You can only take so many body blows, right? And they're taking body blows here. Evan Hager running right. And now lowering his shoulder. You said it earlier. There are some backfields where it's thunder and lightning. Evan Hager's the whole thunderstorm.
Yeah, he's got the full package. Just a simple play like that breaks a tackle for loss that should have been 6-7 yards for a loss, and he gets now them in a 2nd and short situation.
Evan Hager, well over 1,000 yards this year. I mean, you know the man's busy. Just look at his helmet. All colors of the rainbow on that thing. Jackson rolling and throwing. Diving catch made Brady Blakita. The walking highlight did it again on one heck of a throw by Bo Jackson. Wow.
And you really see, you know, they have Hunter Laddick, Evan Deek, if not their best athlete, one of their best athletes on Blakita. CC's one of the best athletes, but what a pass, what a touch there by Bo Jackson. You're really seeing this young man from the beginning of the year develop as a real pocket pass quarterback in the threatened state of Michigan. He is really good at being patient, checking his reads down, and getting the ball out right in a place that you need to. Doing a fantastic job tonight.
In just a few minutes, John Keating, Lauren Plant standing by to give me an update what's coming up after the game. Caledonia Rockford update. Stick around for that. Lauren, thanks. I mean, Rockford beat Caledonia, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and then they bounced back to win. What a win. Congrats to those guys. Some scores to let you know about. Belleville and Saline are still scoring. Grand Ledge wins again. Off to the regionals they go. And Rochester Adams and Clarkston, both winners. They played earlier this year, and they're set up to play again next week. Catholic Central back in the field. In what's been a heavyweight bout, they're looking for a knockout punch to start the fourth. Bo Jackson throwing incomplete. Tried to hit a diving Brady Blakita, but it just missed his mitts. You know, Rochester Adams and Clarkston, it's such a good matchup. We got to do it twice in one season. Justin, you saw it the first time we did it on Football Fridays. I think they're still scoring touchdowns. Next week's going to be a lot of fun.
It was a track meet. All the community was out. It was a packed house, a beautiful night in Rochester, and this is a matchup I know Rochester Adams is looking forward to in Clarkston with Ethan Clark on the other side and Big Cole Dillinger. It's going to be one to remember.
This is Evan Hager. He's having a night to remember. Into the end zone he goes for the third time tonight.
I mean, we've been gassing him up all night, but for good reason. Look at him stick his foot in the ground with a 2 double cut, getting upfield. He's not going lateral to you young running backs. He's getting towards the end zone, and Evan Hager might just have put a really exclamation point on this game.
He ran for 172 yards last week. How about 123 and 3 tutties tonight? That's pretty darn good. That's showing up when the season's on the line.
And hats off to Coach Bell, offensive line coach for CC, and that offensive line continuously leaning on people this season, open up holes. Their young offensive line, only one senior. Here we go.
You know, there's a lot of contenders in Division I. Before the playoffs, not a lot of people talking about Detroit Catholic Central. Tonight, the Shamrocks are saying, pay attention to us. Detroit Catholic Central taking care of business on the road. They're inching closer to a regional championship appearance next week. Here's some scores from around Division II to let you know about. Dexter Dreadnoughts and Cole Cabana moving on, 24-7 win. The Midland Chemics eating out a 7-point win over Waterford Mott. That may be the best offense in the state of Michigan. And how about Forest Hill Central? Let's give them a little love. 2-touchdown win over Mona Shores.
Yeah, Mona Shores, great history, great tradition in their program, plenty of state championship appearances, and Forest Hill Central getting a big win there on the west side of the state.
Birmingham Groves beating Seahold for the second time in 3 weeks. Dan Anderson, look, he's not going to look ahead to next week until this thing's over. But the fact of the matter is, the Shamrocks are slated to play the top team in the state, Belleville, and all those athletes and all that talent next week. They wanted a performance like tonight to get the good vibes going again before what should be a really, really fun matchup next week. Oh, that kick checked up. What a perfect roll. It is all going Catholic Central's way tonight. Jack Wilkinson has been the special teams maestro tonight.
Yeah, again, the ball just checks up, and when things are starting to go wrong and unravel, they are right now. A lot of missed opportunities in the first half are now leading to mishaps, and unfortunately for Northville Mustangs, this is a big turnover to CC, and they're knocking on the door for another score.
You see that thing check up?
Yeah.
Like one of your golf shots.
Yeah, right.
Don't we all wish?
I don't know if I've ever had a golf swing check up.
I mean, you don't have to admit that. Just let the people
No,
think you're
I gotta
good,
be honest.
you know?
We're on live here.
Theater of the mind, man. Let people believe what they want to believe. This is Spencer Lyons keeping his feet and strolling in. The Shamrocks are just imposing their will in the second half.
Yeah, really good job here, young offensive line. We know we're going to run downhill here. They're opening up gaps, getting off double teams, getting to the second level there, the linemen to the linebackers. Spencer Lyons takes it for a pretty easy touchdown. Frustrated for Northville Mustangs. They've had a tremendous season. They've surprised a lot of people this year, and they never surprised themselves. They've always believed in themselves. They're going to keep fighting regardless, and the score is a little bit lopsided, but it doesn't tell the story of the game. I mean, the game is a lot closer than the score really shows.
Justin, I'm really glad you make that point because the scoreline is what it is, but this was a really competitive football game, and it's one good football team playing another, and one team is making plays. I mean, watch the replay, right? Missed tackle, powerful run, and Spencer Lyons is gone. Hey everybody, the 5th annual Legacy Senior All-Star Game will be hosted this upcoming November 27th in Brighton at the Legacy Center Sports Complex. And again, the game's going to be televised on Bally Sports Detroit. 80 of Michigan's best graduating seniors from across our great state will strap their helmets on for the final time, and they're going to showcase their skills for a statewide audience. Kickoff scheduled for high noon on Bally Sports Detroit and the Bally Sports app. I have the best man in Michigan to promote this game, Justin Cessante. Justin, why should people watch?
Great platform to officially end the high school football season for 2022, and gives a lot of underrated kids and some of the top talent across the state to play in the All-Star game right fresh off their football season, get exposure to colleges, and really put the exclamation mark on the high school football season.
Angelo Rodriguez looking for turf. Did find a little on the left side. And then the Shamrocks come to get him. A good tackle on special teams by number 82, Dylan Young. All right, so Catholic Central with a 42-10 lead on Northville with just about 11 and a half to go. Justin, to your point, right? This is not going to go Northville's way, but this has been an outstanding season for the Mustangs. And these are a chance here. Final, basically the whole fourth quarter. You're still going to make memories that'll last a lifetime. In 10 years, Luca Pryor will not remember the final score of this game, but he will remember the great plays he had.
Yeah, and you remember the times he created with his brothers and that they sold out for each other and left everything on the field, and that's what they've done, and they're going to continue to do. This team will not stop fighting, I guarantee that. You know their head coach, you know their players, they got a lot of heart and a lot of intent.
By the way, let's get a look at what the Division I bracket will now look like. Detroit Catholic Central, barring a dramatic comeback, will beat Northville tonight. So, they will play Belleville. Macomb Dakota beats Romeo 17-0. And Cass Tech Southfield A&T, a rematch from one of the wackier football games of all time in week 1 of this season. Luca Pryor is running for his life. He has got to get this ball away, and he does. Josh Ross was trying to sack him for about 30 yards. So in case you missed earlier in the year, Detroit Cass Tech and Southfield A&T played a game that went to overtime and finished 56-54. That is going to be one heck of a football game.
Yeah, and you're going to see some of the top athletes. Leo Mumfield, just from Cass Tech, just committed to Fair State. Isaiah Marshall, one of the top juniors in the country, in my opinion. That's going to be a fantastic game, and it's leading to two really good matchups in the region, whoever comes out of that bracket. But then you got CC Belleville, which I think Belleville hasn't seen a team of the caliber of Detroit Catholic Central this year, and it's always interesting seeing that matchup. I don't think that they've ever played a football game before.
Here's the top half of the bracket, by the way. You're going to get highlights of a bunch of these games on the OT show coming up after R1 ends. We're off to Clarkston, Rochester, Adams next week. And Justin, while we've got the time, you called that first game.
back and forth, up and down the field. What do you think round 2 could potentially bring?
Fireworks. That's all I know. It'll be a very entertaining football game, very physical. You got the Pico brothers over there. You got Cole Dillinger and Ethan Clark with the running game of Clarkston. You got fantastic coaching staffs and communities. It's really what Michigan football should be about. Friday Night Lights, and it's going to be a great rematch. And I know that Rochester Adams remembers that taste in their mouth early in the season when Clarkston got them at home.
By the way, they called intentional grounding on that play, so Josh Ross basically did get the sack. They have spotted the football at the 10, and the line to gain is the 47. It's 3rd down and very long. Should be 2nd down and very long. By the way, how about that digital yard marker for Northville? Who needs old school when we can just have a digital one? See it, far side of the screen? That's pretty cool.
I played when they were still flipping them over.
I mean, so did I. Look at that thing. That is technology, baby.
Well, you had the switch on the side would do it. It wasn't digital, but I had the old flipping scoreboard, and now I'm aging myself.
All right, so the ball is now to about the 15. It's a long way to go. What do you have for 3rd and 35? It got tipped and caught. And now Nolan Thompson's got room. Oh my goodness, you've got to be kidding me. Nolan Thompson, the play of the year for Northville. They just converted on 3rd down and 35.
Yeah, and you'd like to see them do a little bit more of that this game. It's worked all year. They've really have hurt people with this screen game. Now they get a little lucky off the tip there, but Nolan Thompson is their playmaker. Get in their hands, whatever creative way that you have to do it. The great thing about Northville right now is they have 8 underclassmen starting on defense. They have a lot of young dudes. They're going to have to reload on the front line of the offensive line, but they have a lot of bright future here in Northville to play some really good football and win some games.
Luca Pryor wants to throw it again. He's throwing to the end zone. It's a jump ball, and
they don't know.
Angelo Rodriguez went up to get it, and they've given him a touchdown. It was worth the wait for Angelo. And Luca Pryor just looped in another dime.
I'll tell you this, really good play, gets his foot, and that's an easy touchdown. Great call by the referee on the sideline there. And, finally get in his hands, maybe a day late and $1 short. But Luca Pryor, I'm telling you, listen, I've been so impressed by this young man. He's had pressure all night. He's taken some really big hits. And this young man it shows the character of this team. Everything that Coach Laddick said on that phone this week about one of the most selfless groups, one of the teams that just fight for each other, leave it on the field. You can see it by one of their main leaders. They just aren't going to give up and continues to make some spectacular plays against a really good CC defense.
Also, let's tip our caps to the officiating crew. They just made an outstanding call. Angelo Rodriguez got his feet in. Bob, Evan, Donta, Jim, Bill, thank you for working so hard. As you learned at halftime, Devin and Natalie now understand how hard it is to be an official. These men are making it look easy out there.
Yeah, and look, they've had some tough calls they had to make with a botched kick return, and it was a knee down, was it not? Who was recovering it? They've gotten a lot of calls right tonight, and people are so hard on officials. We have to understand the nature of the game. We have to understand also that we need officials to play this game. We need young people that want to do this job, and so it's great to see how efficient and how experience comes into doing a really good job in an important moment of these high school players' lives.
And again, Justin, that's one of those deals where it's not going to go Northville's way tonight, but Angelo Rodriguez, in likely the final football game he ever plays, gets a highlight, gets something he gets to share with his friends and his family after the game. It's like Coach Laddick said to the guys before the game. It's the type of night you remember for the rest of your life.
We're going to get some onside kicks here.
Now they'll try, and Catholic Central will call a fair catch. That is a smooth-looking fair catch by one of the up men. Good job, Dwayne Johnson.
Fair catch taken for the Shamrocks by number 86, Kevin Lee.
Good-looking junior. Sophomore for Catholic Central, number 85, Johnson, 6'2", 230.
How do they find 15 and 16-year-olds who are 6'2", 230?
Well, even that, you look at how many underclassmen, freshmen, and sophomores now play varsity football in the state of Michigan. You know, so it's a different time. When we were coming up in the 90s, you might only had 1 or 2 guys. Now you have 9 or 10, and that's for the experience and playing against the big boys.
This is a new quarterback into the game for Catholic Central. They are cycling through the depth chart. That is Jeremiah Ingram, the junior, number 36 on the throw. And Johnny Shepard just made his first catch of the year. Shout out to number 11 in whites.
You'd like to see Catholic Central keep it on the ground here. Yeah. I understand you still need to work on some things. You need to play football. You're going to still put maximum effort out. But you guys are up significantly. Run the football.
That is Braden Brothers on the field, junior quarterback, number 35. And they've got some new guys in the game as well, and as you'd expect, some miscommunication. Lee Kruger, the guy they were trying to get the ball to, and that didn't work out. To your point, Justin, you know, it's great for guys like this to get experience in a playoff game. These are the guys behind the scenes working hard. They call them the Bombers, the practice squad at Catholic Central. But when you bring those guys in the game, run the base offense. You know? Winning Bomber of the Week is one of the highest honors you can get as a Catholic Central football player. There are free T-shirts involved.
Well, and on any team, in Northville included, those guys that put in that work to make these guys better every day, they're as much as important, if not as important, as the MVPs that get all the news clips and the highlights and all those great things. So, you know, this is truly the greatest team game in the world. It's a builder of men. I know you do, and I myself love the game of football. I love what it does for people. I think we have to make sure we reiterate that in a society that, you know, the end all is getting to the NFL or it's getting the shine. No, it's building an equation for success through this great game.
Shamrocks will keep it on the ground. Stretcher onto the right side. That is Dylan Young. And Northville makes the tackle. 4th down. They're about to get the ball back. Good to see some Catholic Central Shamrocks getting the ball, getting some touches. Guys who maybe woke up today, Justin, and wondered if they were going to see the field. Now they're seeing the field. Good for them. Jer Rankin, number 30, who you just saw, one of the guys back deep. Dan Anderson, a football man through and through. He'll coach the boys until the bitter end, no matter what the score is. Ewing sends the punt away. And the Shamrocks will let it roll down to the 27.
The punt is down at the 27-yard line, where the Mustangs.
So Northville's getting the ball back, and I know the score is what it is, but frankly, the scoreline's deceiving. Northville has played well tonight. There have just been some plays that haven't quite gone their way. Let's give the hometown team, the Mustangs, a little love. It's time for the Menards big money moment. Luca Pryor throwing the football down the field. And number 26, Angelo Rodriguez, made an outstanding catch for his 7th of the year. Luca Pryor got the time, threw a second touchdown of the night, and this is one heck of a catch, huh?
Yeah, pushing the football downfield. Great job by the quarterback, finally connecting with his main target all year. Like to see that happen earlier in the game to really give them a realistic shot of which they were in. Just mishaps, miscues, and not taking advantage and making the plays they need. But great job making one late in the game here. Angelo Rodriguez, you see his talents.
They'll have Luca Pryor throw again. And he's got to throw it away. You know, I think he's just sick of seeing 88 in blue and white. Josh Ross has been hitting his grill all night.
Yeah, a lot of pressure, and that's why Luca, again, has impressed me so much. He's really has kept this offense together, yet to turn over the football. And he's had pressure all night and has taken some big hits.
Yeah, Josh Ross has had a couple on him. Josh will go play hoops when the season is over. The Catholic League in basketball is going to be quite good this year. This is Caleb Moore, running right. Getting some positive yardage for Northville. Their season will end tonight, but this has been a very successful campaign for Northville. They had one winning season in the last 5 years. Oh, they had a winning season this year, and even when they lost, it's to Livonia Franklin, who was outstanding.
a darn good Brighton team that started the season 8-0 and ending your season against Detroit Catholic Central, which is one of the preeminent powers in the state of Michigan. Again, no such thing as a moral victory. Matt Laddick's head is not going to hit the pillow and be happy about this, but it's a building block for your program going forward. Pryor, throw, and it's caught. Hellner climbs the ladder, and as you say, Justin, down the stretch, Northville is going to battle to the bitter end.
And that shows the great tenacity of the coaching staff and the players in the community that you're not going to give up. And I'm proud of these guys. I live in this community. Proud to see how they fight and how they represent everybody that lives here and came out to support them.
Laddick's been the head coach at Northville for 15 years, Justin, and you know, it was so impressive speaking to him earlier in the week. Really thankful for the opportunity the community and school had on a night like this. And that record speaks for itself. This is a very good football coach.
Yeah, he's a guy you just got to love. I mean, he does it the right way. He does it with great passion. And having his son as a senior on the team this year, you don't like to see this.
No, you don't. Poor Nolan Thompson has played his heart out tonight, and he just took a big crunch after a catch for a first down. I hope the wind's just knocked out of him.
Yeah, he's had a lot of touches. On both sides of the ball, everybody's going to be waking up sore. This has been a physical football game, a lot of hitting, a lot of 11 hats to the football on defense. And you don't want to see this young man after the game he played. He has truly left it all out on the field, which mirrors his head coach and how they talk and how they approach things each and every day.
Great to see Nolan to his feet. He's coming back next year. He's a junior. Nolan had 16 catches entering tonight. By my unofficial account, statistician Donald will get it to us in a second. Nolan's had at least 7 catches tonight.
Yeah, and he's done it all. He's done it on special teams. He's been all over the field. He's gotten handoffs. He's gotten trick plays. He's gotten screens. He's really done a lot for his team and should be very proud and keep his head up high off the field tonight.
Luka will keep it. Give it, I beg your pardon, and Northville gained a few yards. I told you Donald was going to get it to us. That is 7 catches for Nolan Thompson tonight. Shout out to our entire hard-working crew up here in the booth. Statistician Donald, stage manager Julie, spotter Benjamin Stockton doing a great job tonight.
Yeah, it's really fun to be up here and just take in the communities, take in the game. I can't emphasize it enough how special football is, not only for communities but for the state of Michigan. And we have a lot of pride up here, and we play some of the best football in the country. And it's great for Bally's to recognize that and showcase it.
Northville is cycling guys through as well. They just pitched it out on a run, and Catholic Central got to the ball. My goodness. Jaden Pyden is a rising sophomore who looks like he's going to be a star.
Yeah, he's a kid that, you know, watching him in some other games that we've covered this year, he has a lot of talent. He plays definitely with more pizzazz and oomph than a sophomore, and he's somebody we're going to be calling the name over Catholic Central over the next couple of years.
Now, the thing that's going to frustrate that coaching staff is a late hit was called, and it's a 15-yard penalty, which means Northville gets an unforced error-free first down. Unforced error-free first down. Say that 5 times fast.
I will not.
I will not, he says. The new quarterback in the game is Isaac Pace. He's rolling. The lefty wants to throw, and it's tipped. Incomplete. 73, Danilo Guberinic, and Stone Cheney, number 81, in the vicinity.
Stone Cheney, son of Brian Cheney, former All-State defensive end at CC, played at EMU. Also a young man that you'd be watching out at Detroit Catholic Central as a rising star. And again, Northville Mustangs, they have 8 returners on defense that averaged allowing 12 points a game.
Yeah.
So you better believe that this community and this school is excited about what they have over the next couple of years.
Yeah, the environment here was awesome tonight. I know it's thinned out because it's a Friday night and people are on their way home. Isaac Pace keeps it and maybe gains a yard or two. Got to get home to watch the OT show. But the environment here was outstanding tonight. Packed house. Student section for Northville was here an hour before the game. Yeah. Justin, when you and I got here at 5:30, tailgaters all over the place. Those are the brave souls sticking it out. God bless them. And it's like what we spoke to at the beginning, right? An environment like this, a setting like this, schools right down the road that frankly don't like each other. This is why high school football, why so many people love it so much.
And even though there's that dislike, what a lot of respect, a clean football game for the most part. And you know that these guys might dislike each other on the football field, but there is respect about how each approached the game and how each season was successful.
That pass was incomplete. Isaac Pace with a long throw trying to hit Devin Schaefer.
4th and 10 for the Mustangs.
Matt Laddick, like Dan Anderson, his counterpart on the other side. Getting a lot of guys playing time in what will be Northville's final game of the year.
And CC goes into playing 3 teams that wear the orange and black. And 3 teams, 2 of them out of the 3 they've never played before, Dearborn and Belleville. So very interesting road through the playoffs for Catholic Central. Very unique.
That throw is picked. A late highlight for the Catholic Central defense. Ryan Schrammick, the senior, with the memory in the district final.
Ryan Shamrock or Shamrock?
Shamrock. Here we go. When your last name is Schrammick, you got to be a Shamrock.
You just change it.
Good looking break in the ball, huh?
Yeah, coach, defensive backs coach there for Catholic Central, DeJuan Boone, former All-American at GVSU, celebrating their 20th first time winning the national championship tomorrow. And he's always got his guys ready there on the back end.
So Catholic Central, this could be their final drive of the night. You gotta imagine it'll be a lot of runs. And that's what we have here. Pretty good looking run to the right side with a late hit. That is Lee Kruger bumped out of bounds, and the flag will stay in the pocket. It's time to give you tonight's player of the game, brought to you by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. I think we picked the right guy tonight. Evan Hager had a decent little night of work.
He's been doing it every Friday night for the Shamrocks. He has been their go-to. He's been their hammer. He will play on the other side of the ball as well. He's going to Alabama to play baseball with another great football player in the state, Parker Pico, who is also the Adams quarterback, playing against Clarkston, looking for revenge this upcoming weekend for the regional championship. But he really has done it all and earned that right to the MVP of this game.
And look at Evan Hager celebrating his teammates down the stretch. Lee Kruger, number 29, is finishing his runs. Evan's night is done, and the guys who have been waiting for a crack because Evan never leaves the field, they're getting a chance to show out right now.
Yeah, and you thought with Catholic Central that their bye the last week of the season is the worst time to ever have a bye. You need momentum, experience, and reps going into the playoffs was really going to hurt them. And they almost got clipped by Dearborn last week. It was down to the last play. Dearborn missed the Z out that would have ended it. And they sneaked by and really got back on track against Northville tonight.
Catholic Central is shuffling through the depth chart. Lee Kruger has been waiting all year to do this. What a run.
Yeah, really good here. Not just taking the ball and saying, hey, I got to carry, I'm happy. He makes a really good cut, shows some good vision, and gets a big play here at the end of the game. Sideline is really celebrated. You love to see that. These guys all work their butts off, sacrifice time, blood, sweat, and tears all season. So it's great to see these guys get some tick.
Back to the ground. And a short little run for Catholic Central on that one. That is Caleb Brewer on the run for 24. You know, Lee Kruger, number 29, has had some outstanding runs late here. He's a sophomore. He's next man up. He's been sitting on the sidelines all year watching Evan Hager, the senior, do work. And Lee's saying, Evan, I know it's your time for a little bit more here, but he's giving Shamrock fans a preview of what's to come.
Tradition doesn't graduate, it reloads, right?
And this time Northville said, you know what? We're just going to put 3 guys around you and bring you down. A whole bunch of bodies come to get them. Kuban in there. whole bunch of bodies in that scrum. Cole Adanasio in there as well.
And look, you want your, as Coach Laddick, you want the Northville Mustangs, these younger guys, to get some of this experience. They want to feel this taste of losing a district championship because you believe you have what is down the line here, enough to go and be back in this game and potentially win it. And you saw Caledonia do it against Rockford. You see this happen all the time. You saw Rochester push Adams a little bit tonight. You see that happen. So it's only going to be a matter of time before Northville gets back to where they want to be. I know they had the Brandon Langston, one of the great running backs that came through Northville, played with Dewan Boone and I at Grand Valley. It was the last time they won a district championship. But when you have a coaching staff that has this type of following, you have this type of concrete foundation in the community, you're going to get wins, you're going to have successful seasons, and you're eventually going to get where you want to go.
Catholic Central taking its time before fourth down. I have not tried to throw it once on this drive. Braden Brothers, your quarterback. Kruger, the running back. They'll send a man in motion and give it to him. And Northville gets to that man, Dylan Young. Northville will get the ball back. We'll pay some bills and come on back with the final 40 seconds or so of a Detroit Catholic Central win in the district final. The Hometown Showdown is a chance for your high school to be crowned the best Football Fridays fan base. Vote now in our weekly poll on the Bally Sports Detroit Twitter page. The winning school earns the official Hometown Showdown neon sign to display in their school and year-long bragging rights. What's more important? The poll closes Monday for Catholic Central and Northville, so keep on voting throughout the weekend. I think Northville is now realizing, Justin, on that sideline that the season's coming to a close. And for some guys, football careers are coming to a close.
Yeah, and it's great to see these young men and how much they care, right? That gives them substance in their life to understand when you work for something and how important it becomes to you. And they have a brotherhood because of this, because of what they shared, because of the success and failures they went through together. They'll remember this for the rest of their life. You can talk to NFL guys. The best time that they remember is high school football, the time they spent with their brothers, the time that they ran, the time they went to dinners, the time that they hung out at school, all of that stuff. So you see them hugging and embracing, and hats off to Northville, hats off to their community, their staff, and their players. They've done a tremendous job this year, and they should be very proud and make sure they keep their chins up.
Couple of more snaps for Northville. Isaac Pace remains the quarterback, and they'll run it here. It's a good-looking run. One of the last plays of the year, a positive one. Caden Kubin on the carry. That is a sophomore with a little wiggle on the run.
I'll tell you what, Evan Deek is somebody I want to look for the Legacy Senior All-Star game. That kid can play some football, man. He's been a very impressive young man tonight.
Absolutely. Northville will be frustrated. There's no doubt about that. But let's tip our caps to them on one heck of a year. They'll finish at 8-3. And again, one of those score lines that's deceiving. A lot of close plays that went Catholic Central's way. Fight until the end. Good run for Northville, right side. Playing until the final whistle blows. That's Aiden Quinn, number 41 for Catholic Central.
Gain of 7, it'll be 2nd and 3, balls at the Northville 40.
That feeling of finality, Justin, that Northville's feeling right now is so sudden. Because you went into today, of course you're thinking you're going to win the ball game, right? You've worked so hard, you're dreaming of state championships, and literally now you're realizing, oh my goodness, it's over.
Yeah, whether it's a win or a loss, it's never easy taking your pads off for the last time. It's a realization that you have to separate from this great game, and you're not going to be in that same environment with your brothers, and it is hard. It doesn't settle in well for months.
That'll do it. Shout out to Northville on one heck of a year. That is a program with a lot of guys coming back and bright things in their future. But the future for Catholic Central, a win, another district title to put in the trophy case, and one heck of a matchup next week against the mighty Belleville Tigers.
Catholic Central 42-17, the winners tonight. They're district champs again. Our coverage continues right now. Football Fridays overtime, powered by state champs. John Keating and Lauren are standing by. Guys, take it away.